scummy thing I have ever seen in a campaign. It really truly is. Now when we get back, I'll get to another story that gives us some more details and some more updates. I was not going to cover this story. It might have been a mention, but when I saw how it's overwhelming Florida media, I realized I had no choice, that I have to cover it. I just don't have a choice. It's got to be covered, and okay, hold on. Well, okay. Well, we're in radio break for about 2 more minutes, because I was, and not only is it in all the press in Florida, when I went through all the Florida media, it's all acting as if this is a legitimate accusation, and I found it all to be one-sided, because even in a red state like this, like so much of the country and so much of the media are liberal, even in MAGA Florida, okay, and so they're gonna portray this as if it's a legitimate accusation, because they hate Byron Donalds. Not just because he's MAGA, but the idea that we'll have the first black man elected governor of the state of Florida, and he's a Republican. The left, they just can't handle that. Okay, they just can't handle that. And not only can't handle that they're freaked out that Byron Donalds, that being governor, will be either a stepping stone to be a member of the United States Senate for the rest of his life, or he'll be running for vice president with with whoever the second or third MAGA president is. So they're trying to end Byron Donalds' career before he becomes the governor, because he's endorsed by Trump, he's MAGA, and he's black MAGA, and he's popular. All these things have them going after him. Okay, we have just over a minute, and we'll be back. If you'd like to call in, I don't answer the chat, guys, during the show. You got to call me on the air. The number is pinned in the live chat, 888-465-2631. All opinions are welcome, 888-465-2631. It's a toll-free call, and as I said, all opinions are welcome on the program. All right, 888-465-2631. All right, we got about 30 seconds or so, and we will be back. All right. Hang in there. Okay. All right, 10 seconds. All right, welcome back, one and all. I'm Brian. It's the Steve Kane Show, talking about fish sticks and these insane smears that he threw out about the great Byron Donalds, who I am voting for. That's right. And aren't you? If you're MAGA, you should be, because the president said so. Okay, FloridaPolitics.com. This is a more updated story. Headline: completely false. Byron Donalds' campaign blasts James Fishstick's baseless and defamatory sideshow. And this is the article by A.G. Gankarski at FloridaPolitics.com. The legally troubled candidate, that's Fishsticks, is making unsubstantiated late campaign claims against the likely GOP nominee. James Fishback has spent a significant amount of time in courtrooms during his run for governor, but now he says, without proof, that likely Republican nominee Byron Donalds is the one who merits legal scrutiny. Byron Donalds' camp says the allegations are completely false. We will not be distracted by this baseless and defamatory sideshow, and neither should you, said Byron's spokesperson. And a law enforcement source called Florida Politics and said the allegations against Corey Mills were absolutely false. Okay? Yeah, that's right. Fishstick said a government whistleblower, who we don't know who they are, presented evidence which he said his campaign has confirmed that an alleged criminal investigation of U.S. Rep. Corey Mills also included Byron Donalds. Mills denies knowledge of such an investigation. Fishsticks alleges Donalds participated in federal sex trafficking with Mills twice in 2024 at the MGM National Harbor Hotel in Maryland. He said Mills and Donalds paid women for sexual acts and that both men faced felony charges that could lead to 5 years in prison. Oh my goodness. The charges are serious, but given the source and the timing less than 2 weeks before the GOP primary, but again, early voting is starting, it is hard to take them seriously without corroboration. Fishstick said the Justice Department refused to comment on whether it was investigating Byron Donalds and said Donalds should speak directly to the voters about the claim. Yeah, this is what they want. They want him to go out there and be on the defensive and defend this crap that Fishsticks is throwing out there. In making the accusation that Donald, see, I know this is not the general election in November, but these are October surprises in August, right? Heck, they're already doing Halloween in August at Walt Disney World, and all these stores are already selling Halloween merch, right? Spirit Halloweens are already opening up in August, so we can do October surprises in August too. The purpose of the October surprises, which this is to throw out something really bad right before people are voting. Again, the early voting starting tomorrow, so that the candidate doesn't have time to correct the record, and they're on the defensive. That's the whole purpose of it. Fishstick said the Justice Department refused to comment on whether it was investigating Byron Donalds and said Donalds should speak directly to the voters about the claim. In making the accusation that Donalds is being investigated, the Fishsticks campaign's closing argument is obscuring the embattled GOP firebrand's own ethical and moral lapses with attacks on the Donald Trump endorsed frontrunner. And this is FloridaPolitics.com I'm reading from. Fishsticks owes his former hedge fund employer more than $1.3 million. A federal magistrate judge in January ordered Fishsticks to turn over stock certificates and dozens of personal luxury purchases to the U.S. Marshals Service to satisfy a separate $229,000 judgment, which Fishstick says he will not pay. All right. He also lost an arbitration bid against the company this past spring after failing to participate in the case. His former law firm moved to withdraw from representing him with more than $150,000 in unpaid fines. While Fishsticks survived a legal challenge to his claim of Florida residency last month, he admitted to having voted in D.C. in 2020 and held a homestead exemption at that point. Individuals must demonstrate residency before voting in the nation's capital. The voting violation carries penalties up to 5 years in prison and a $10,000 fine. The homestead infraction is punishable by up to 180 days in jail and a $1,000 fine plus repayment with interest and tax penalties. Fishstick's legal troubles don't end there. A former debate champion, well, this guy's got this Florida politics, this article, Fishsticks has got a checkered recent history here. Fishstick's legal troubles don't end there. A former debate champion who says Fishstick's nonprofit still owes her $8,000 in promised scholarship money filed a small claim suit in Broward County last week. Fishsticks has also used, this is not me, I've not heard this before, this is new to me. I've seen a reference to it on social media without any specifics, but this is from FloridaPolitics.com. Fishsticks has also used racist language towards Donalds. They say he called him a slave to his donors and corporate interest and a DEI Republican. Wow. And pronounced his name in a strange way, Byron, following the residency hearing. Fishsticks again invoked Donald's race while announcing a proposal named for Donalds to eliminate Florida's 3-day waiting period on firearm purchases, which he named the Byron Act, short for Bolster Your Right to Own Now. Okay, whatever. Fishsticks has also appeared on a podcast alongside self-described admirers of Adolf Hitler and has rubbed elbows with other members of the so-called manosphere who traffic in anti-Semitic, racist, misogynistic rhetoric. While not illegal, his campaign finances raised concerns with a few donors Backing a campaign that spends heavily on travel and lodging and staged what critics from rival campaigns call a shotgun wedding for optics. Fishsticks didn't discuss his own issues on Thursday. And it goes, that's about it. I'm going to call 100% BS on all of these. And as you can see with Fishsticks, everybody he deals with, he goes around burning bridges all over creation. Now, you know, this was not going to be the story I led with today. I saw Fishsticks' press conference yesterday, and it looked like even this guy, he was uncomfortable saying these things when I saw his press conference yesterday. I thought today it might be a mention, a speed bump. I had another story, which I am going to get to in a little bit, that was going to be my lead. And then when I saw that the local television news throughout the state of Florida, especially up there in the Orlando area and all of that, that they were obsessing over this story because they're in a panic about Byron Donalds. And the Florida media are reporting this really as if it's a credible accusation, which it is not. So I feel a moral, ethical obligation to cover it, especially since we're here in Florida with a large Florida coverage area. All right. Your thoughts are certainly welcome. Now, again, today is Friday. It is Open Phones on Friday. We call it Open MAGA Mike Friday. On Friday's show, you are welcome to call in about any and everything on your mind. You don't even have to discuss the things that we bring up on the program. But I certainly would like to hear your thoughts on this, okay? The number is toll-free 888-465-2631. 888-465-2631. It's a toll-free call no matter where you're located. 888-465-2631. It's the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest-running radio show on the radio since 1977, celebrating 49 years on the radio. I want to talk about Jamie LeeZep over at Swift Tax. Oh man, if you're a business owner of any size, whether you're a Uber driver, a Lyft driver, or you own a brick and mortar business or anything in between, and by the way, no matter how large or small your business is, call Jamie LeeZep over at Swift Tax. Not only can he handle all of your business taxes, which include your payroll taxes for yourself if you're self-employed, your payroll taxes for your employees, your taxes for your business, your personal income taxes, but he can also handle your bookkeeping for your business as well. Give him a call. This number rings directly to Jamie LeeZep at Swift Tax. And those of you that missed the tax filing deadline, don't worry, stop sweating. Even if you've missed not just this year, but many years in the past, call Jamie LeeZep at Swift Tax, or you can text him. He'll take care of it for you. If you owe money to the IRS, even if you've already made a financial arrangement with the IRS, call Jamie LeeZep. He'll take care of that for you as well. 954-773-1587. 954-773-1587. That's 954-773-1587. All right, we'll take our break for the bottom of the hour, come back with more and your calls right after this.
Have you ever wondered what it truly feels like to battle the darkest corners of the human mind? From author Mara Solis comes a deeply moving psychological novel. Add to your must-read list, The Never-Ending Maze. Available at Lulu.com and Google Play Books. Written in the form of a personal diary, this intimate and emotionally powerful story invites readers into the inner world of a woman searching for hope while confronting loneliness, broken dreams, depression, and the desire to be understood. The Never-Ending Maze explores whether healing, purpose, and light can still be found even in the deepest darkness. Through heartfelt reflections on relationships, faith, mental health, art, and the struggle to keep moving forward, every page offers an honest and unforgettable journey. This book also makes a great addition to your book club. Order your copy right now on Lulu.com and Google Play Books. The Never-Ending Maze from author Mara Solis. What if you could understand the Bible as one complete story? From creation to Jesus to the fulfillment of end times prophecy. Now you can with engaging, eye-opening Bible study live streams where Scripture comes together in a clear, easy-to-follow way that will deepen your understanding of God's Word. Discover how the events unfolding in today's world fit into the bigger picture God revealed throughout the Bible. Explore biblical prophecy and what it says about the future. Compare God's truth to Satan's deception. Examine the evidence for creation versus evolution, and gain fresh insight into the people, places, and promises found throughout Scripture. Whether you're new to Bible study or have been reading the Bible your entire life, these live streams will help you connect the dots, strengthen your faith, and better understand the times we're living in. Don't miss this opportunity to grow in your knowledge of God's Word. Join these life-changing Bible study live streams right now. Find the link in the description of this episode. Share the link on all your social media so your friends can join in too. Again, the link is in the description of this episode. Look in the description and click it right now.
All right, we're still in radio break. We'll be back in 1 minute from the radio break. And that Bible study is a very good Bible study. It's put together by someone who listens and watches this program. So look in the description, click that link, and check out that Bible study. Support them. I would appreciate it. They're supporting me, all right? If you're on hold, stand by. That's fish sticks at the press conference. I mean, look at this. We've got one microphone from the media. The other two are either fish sticks campaign or permanently a part of the podium. I mean, come on. Give me a break. All right, we'll go to the phones when we get back. We have 30 seconds. 888-465-2631 is the number. 888-465-2631. It's pinned in the live chat. Oh, my goodness. All right, here we go. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
This is Michael. I'm calling from St. Louis, Missouri.
Hey, Michael. What's up?
I've talked to you before. Good morning, first of all.
Yes.
I've been listening to what you said for like the last few minutes because I've been doom scrolling
Oh.
for a little bit. And I've noticed, I've also heard something from the channel Liberal Hive Mind that concerned me a lot. And I needed to briefly say this. I think this country should really be concerned about the rise of the DSA actions. And I've been noticing a pattern. New York City, Michigan, and Minnesota is now being invaded with post-Islam and their ties with the Muslim Brotherhood.
Yeah, that's true. Came up in that Senate hearing yesterday. Yeah, it came up in the Senate hearing yesterday that the Muslim Brotherhood and the Democrat Socialist of America are connected. Absolutely.
Also, there's somebody here from my city that also has ties with the Muslim Brotherhood, and that's Wesley Bell.
Well, I don't know who that is, but all right. Hey, listen, we don't need all the names because I don't know who these people are.
I'm just saying,
But the Democrat Socialist of America, there's multiple purposes of them, but the main purpose is, to me, it's a Muslim movement looking to bring down the United States and Israel, right? You got Mamdani, who's the leader. We've got Ahmed in Michigan, Hassan Piker, who is their kingmaker. And what their goal is to get as many Muslims elected to Congress as possible to cut off funding for Israel, and they think that's when the Muslims will be able to take over Israel, when they cut the U.S. funding to Israel. That's what their goal is with this.
I've kind of noticed that, and all I'm saying is this concerned me, and this should concern a lot of people. This should also make this as a message for the younger people to come out and vote in the midterms to fight this.
Yeah.
If this has ever been a time for us to put our differences aside and find a cause, a similar cause to prevent this from happening, this is one of those times.
Mm-hmm.
And like I said, I won't be on this phone long. I just needed because I mentioned something on the chat a few minutes ago before calling. It's my thing is Red Hood.
No. When I get the rest of that out. Oh my goodness. Well, hey, it's St. Louis. If you're on hold, stand by. I'm going to play some of this Fish Sticks press conference yesterday. And I know some people will tell me today that I shouldn't have covered this. That I'm just helping Fish Sticks. I'm sure I'll hear somebody tell me that, when I get off the air today. I'll probably hear it. You're just helping Fish Sticks. You're hurting by. No. To not deal with this, all right? To not cover this, to not talk about this, that's to help Fish Sticks and these evildoers working against Byron Donalds. Okay? Why do you think they're working so hard to get a Democrat governor in Florida? Why do you think? Exactly. The other Republicans are hopeless. Byron Donalds is 36 points ahead of the second place person, who's the lieutenant governor. I can't even remember his name, Jay something or other. And I'm playing this James Fish Sticks press conference yesterday because I want you to listen to it. And if you're on hold, stand by. And I know it's open phones and open MAGA Mike Friday, but I got to get through some of this. It's too important. When I saw this and listened to it, he sounds like he doesn't believe it himself, Fish Sticks. He even sounds uncomfortable going through it. Let me know what you think here as you hear it. And this press conference, what a joke of a press conference this is. There's 3 microphones on the podium. 2 are the identical mics who look like they are permanently a part of the podium. There's 1 television news mic, NBC 8. Okay, so it's not much of a press conference. But anyway, the reason I'm playing it is ask yourself this. 1, of course, do you believe Fish Sticks? I don't see how you can. But does he believe it himself? And does he sound even uncomfortable sharing this himself? I think he does. They're counting him down. Oh, of course not. It's not. This is not a political event, right? With the early voting starting on Saturday. No, please. Okay, now this is interesting. He'll never speak about it again, he says. So that means he doesn't want to do interviews about it where people might want to see the document that he holds up and everything else. That's interesting. So he doesn't want to talk about it again. So no interviews, so we can't be questioned about it? Oh my goodness. Whenever you hear politicians say it's not political, right? It's not about politics. That's when it's the most political of all. Now, why? Now, a couple of things here. Why would they approach Fish Stick's campaign and not the lieutenant governor, who's, by the way, got the backing of DeSantis? I mean, this is hard core acting. Does he not seem uncomfortable? Does he seem that he doesn't believe it? Does he seem as if he's acting? Now, keep in mind, we have no women, we have no prosecutor. We have one newspaper saying their DOJ source says it's not true. Corey Mills says he doesn't know what he's talking about. It's not true. And of course, Byron Donalds has denied it as well as his campaign. Nothing. Just an allegation and the holding up of a document that's blacked out a little. I'll play a little bit more. No, the more I listen to this, the more I call BS on it. All right, if you're on hold, stand by. We'll take a call or two before the break. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Oh, good morning, Brian.
Yes.
Oh, it's Joan from Tampa Bay.
Hey, Joan.
All right. I'm going to vote for Byron because I'm a Republican, period. And I'm MAGA.
Yeah.
Period. But I don't mind paying my property taxes. I mean, that's what he's running on. I don't mind paying it for infrastructure and education in my county and what have you. You know what I'm saying? I don't care.
Okay.
But there's one thing I do care about. Okay. My entire community, I think we have 350 homes in it. You know how we have our community here.
Your HOA, right?
Yes. All of our utilities are underground. But there's these wires that...
All right, I know it's open phones, but what's the point you're trying to get to, Joan? Because time is short. I know it's open phones on Friday, but talking about underground wiring, I got to have some quality control. What's the main idea behind the call? You're voting for Byron Donalds.
The main idea is, I think, since we have a surplus, why don't we make all utilities underground? So when there's these storms coming,
the hurricanes,
power.
I would rather have no property tax on our homestead, and if there's a surplus, give all taxpayers split it up between us and give us the money back. How about that?
Oh, honey, I'd rather have power through a storm.
We don't, during hurricanes, we don't lose power as often as we used to.
Honey, the last one I lost it for 2 weeks.
Well, no, I didn't say ever. I said as often. But what they've been doing over the last few years, and they haven't done the whole state yet, is they've been doing two things. One, they've been cutting the trees down around the power lines because they knocked down the power lines. And they've been replacing all of the wooden power lines with concrete ones so they don't fall and break during the storms. They've been doing a lot to handle that. All right, Joan. All right, appreciate the call. You're voting for Byron Donalds. You take care. We're going to take our last break of the first hour. If you're on hold, stand by. I know it is Open MAGA Mike Friday, but can we increase the quality of the calls? All right, we're 2 in, and the quality is kind of... The number is 888. Increasing the quality of the calls that's not asking for a lot. That is not hard to do based on the last two calls. 888-465-2631. 888-465-2631. We'll take our break and be right back.
What if your expertise could help your customers around the clock, even when you're sleeping? You could do just that with Twin. That's TWIIN. Twin is an AI-powered platform that transforms your knowledge into a smart assistant that's available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Whether you're a business owner, Airbnb host, consultant, coach, creator, real estate professional, or technical expert, Twin learns from your expertise to provide instant, personalized answers through a simple QR code or direct link. Imagine your customer scanning a product and receiving expert advice instantly. Guests at your vacation rental can find house rules, local recommendations, and troubleshooting tips without sending you a message. And your clients get the answers they need exactly when they need them. There's no coding, no complicated setup, and no tech experience needed. Just upload the files you already have, and your Twin is ready to work, representing your business with the same knowledge, professionalism, and consistency every time. Your knowledge remains private, fully encrypted, and never used to train public AI models. There's only one you until now. Multiply your time, scale your expertise, be available everywhere. Visit hellotwin.com right now. That's Twin, spelled TWIIN, and discover how your AI-powered twin can help your business work smarter 24/7. Hellotwin.com.
All right, guys, I'm just queuing some stuff up for the next segment. Where is the... No. Okay, stand by. We've got 1 minute. We'll be back. If you're on hold, stand by. If you'd like to call in, the number is toll-free and pinned in the live chat. Oh, my goodness. All right, 40 seconds. 20 seconds, we'll be back. Again, we're trying to increase the quality of the calls today, so if you think you're a little higher quality than the first two calls, you're welcome to call. It's not asking for much. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Good morning, Ron. Doc from Texas.
Hey, Doc. What's up?
Hey, man. How are you this morning?
I'm doing all right. How are you?
I'm good. Two things, I'm going to let you go. First thing, that's a story I saw on TV. I saw it online, then I saw it on TV this morning. There's this guy out of Texas. He voted for Trump several times, and his girlfriend got picked up at the airport and by ICE, and he threatened to deport her.
Yeah, are you talking about the guy in his 70s that was bringing the sugar baby in? The sugar daddy was bringing the sugar baby in from Venezuela, and she got turned away at the airport?
No, she was here. She was here. She had all the papers. Everything was right. He picked her up.
Yeah. Okay. Well, if everything's right, she's got no problems.
Well, what I'm saying is, when he said, I thought that ain't the people they're supposed to be picking up. See, I'm gonna say it's funny.
Is this the guy who's in his 70s you're talking about, the gray hair guy?
Uh-huh.
Okay. If you are, now let me ask, I saw this. Did you see the woman?
Uh-huh.
Okay. How would you describe, he's an old man. He's 75. How would you describe, let me answer all the lines that are coming in. He's 75, gray-haired old man. How would you describe her?
She looks good.
She's a Venezuelan hottie, right?
Yeah, she looks good.
Yeah, and she's about how much younger than the old man?
I don't remember. I don't remember seeing the age.
Well, were you looking at her? Does she look 75?
Oh, no.
No. She looks about 30 or 35 years younger than him, right?
Okay.
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 So if you're an old man and you are bringing some young, by your description, some 30 plus year younger Venezuelan hottie to the United States, what's the purpose of that visit? What is that? What is that?
That's his woman. That's his wife. That's his fiance.
What? Okay. What's going on there? Why would a hottie from Venezuela, 30, 35 years younger than him, she could have any man she wanted? What's really going on there?
I don't know.
Come
I
on.
don't know.
Come on.
Okay, I don't
Come
know.
on.
Another
No, not another thing. He is a sugar daddy.
Okay.
And he's bringing her over here for sex.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay.
That's called, and it's, okay, so when you are, if you bring someone from another country to the United States for sex, what are you doing?
Trafficking.
Sex traffic, correct. So you want to,
Okay.
so would it not be the right thing for them to stop her at the airport and turn her back to Venezuela?
Fine. You don't know that we're speculating. That's what.
No, you come on. You know, you're not speculating. Okay. You've seen him. You've seen her. Give me a break.
Okay. One more thing. I'm gonna let you go. The fish bag guy.
Fish sticks.
That's so funny. That's so funny. What's going on with that?
Why? You're upset that this guy? You're upset that this guy can sex traffic this Venezuelan hottie. And we've got a specific example of it. You say we don't know, but you believe fish sticks about Byron Donalds. There's no woman. There's no nothing.
I don't believe him. I don't. But see, that's you assuming. I don't believe him.
Oh, okay,
because
good.
All of a sudden yeah.
Good.
And what I'm saying about the guy in Texas, isn't he a MAGA Trump supporter?
No, he's an anti-Trump person.
Is.
Fish sticks?
Yes, he is.
No, he's not. He's no.
I'm talking about the guy in Texas. I'm talking about the guy in Texas with the woman.
He says he's MAGA, but just because.
He is MAGA.
So what? Just because you're MAGA doesn't mean that you can be a sugar daddy and bring women into the country.
He's like his mentor. He's like his mentor. Trump. Trump is a sugar daddy.
No, he's not.
Yes, he is. Yes, he is. Look at Melania. Look at Trump.
Yeah.
She looks good. And
When
there's
Melania Trump and this Venezuelan woman, before Melania married Trump, what was Melania that the Venezuelan lady's not?
She was a model. She was a model.
She was also Melania was also a self-made multimillionaire. This Venezuelan lady's got nothing.
So why would she deal with Trump? She can have anything she wants. She wants that old decrepit dude. That's probably not even Barron. That's probably not even his son.
Okay, now you're just, I'm going to say this to you, Doc. When you first started calling me, you were a much higher quality caller. And over the last few weeks, and it's getting worse every time, like this, you're becoming a very low quality, low class caller.
Why? Because I said I'm comparing the guy in Texas to Trump, and they're basically the same.
There's a big difference. Melania was a self-made multimillionaire. This woman in Venezuela is broke.
Why is she messing with Trump then? Why did she get with Trump then?
That's called true love. That's called true love, and he's not old and decrepit. They've been married over 20 years.
Because she's trying to wait till. Let me shut up.
Oh, that's a good idea. I'll agree with you. We'll let you shut up. Thanks for the call. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Yeah, Renee from Harlem.
Hey, Renee.
Yeah, so listen, I just wanted to give your White Power Hour a shout out and let them know that tokens get spent. So your boy, what's his face, Byron, the black community is not going to support him because they see him for what he is. He's the kind of guy that would be like, what's that guy, the cop?
I don't know.
Yeah, he's backing the people that are investigating that Nolan Hall.
Hold, Renee, enough. I mean, give me a break. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Wait, Jeff from Maine.
Hey, Jeff.
Boy,
The quality callers today has been horrendous.
Well, hey,
I couldn't take it.
it's Open MAGA Mike Friday. You know, I mean, it's open phones. I mean, it's 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 a hit and miss on Open MAGA Mike Friday. You never know what you're going to get. It's a potpourri.
That's true. I think Byron Donalds, like you said early in the segment, they do these things at the last minute before the ballots start getting cast. And it worked in, was it North Carolina?
Well,
What was that guy's name?
Well, these have worked from time to time over the years. See, fish sticks in this. The early voting starts in Florida tomorrow. Okay.
Voting, yeah.
And Byron Donalds is in first place by 36 points from the number 2. Fish sticks is in 4th place and behind undecided. So it's Byron Donalds, 36 points ahead of the number 2, who's the lieutenant governor of Florida. Number 3 is any unnamed candidate, undecided, and then number 4 is fish sticks. I mean, it's pathetic.
And the Democrats don't have a message. All they do is come out and attack, and that's what Troy Jackson is doing in Maine. He's got these ads coming out against Susan Collins, who just passed her 10,000 consecutive vote, which is the first by far. And, that's worthy of a call out because she shows up. She doesn't always vote right, but I'll take a rhino over any Democrat any day.
Absolutely.
And he's talking about something 20 years ago when he was a logger that Susan Collins didn't support, and we need a change. And the problem in Maine, in most states, is the Democrats have run it for so long that when they say, oh, the Republicans are to blame, people just suck up the Kool-Aid.
That's right.
All the blue states have been run by Democrats and run into the ground.
Yeah,
and
that's right. All of them.
Their message is, oh, Trump's a bad guy who was never a politician. That message is old and gone.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone can see clearly that what Trump does is systematically.
Very true. Very true. Well, Jeff, I'm running short on time, so I got to run. But you've definitely upped the quality of the calls after the last several. All right?
Have a great weekend.
All right, take care. I pulled up this story that Doc was referencing. I was going to play this anyway. I had it on my X. This is the sugar daddy talking about his Venezuelan sugar baby that got stopped.
I voted for Trump. I am saying that they are picking up law-abiding citizens. They're destroying families, jobs.
Oh, yeah, this sounds like a Trump voter.
John Gannon is a 75-year-old businessman and lifelong Republican who supported President Trump in 2024.
I wouldn't do that again. Not after this fiasco.
His fiancée,
Okay, now I'm looking at the. Give me a break.
35-year-old Venezuelan immigrant Yasmin Suarez-Reyes was detained by ICE at George Bush Intercontinental Airport in Houston in late July.
8 ICE agents swarmed Jasmine
Jasmine?
and detained her. Didn't tell us why, and rustled her off into a car.
When you saw that unfold,
Give me a break.
Well, I was just in total disbelief.
according to her immigration lawyer, Suarez-Reyes came to the U.S. legally in 2023 and later applied for asylum, a case that is still ongoing. But her underlying permission to be in the U.S. has lapsed. Some people may say this is what mass deportations look like.
That's right.
They're not going after the hard guys. That's too difficult. It's easier to pick them up at the airport. It's like shooting fish in a barrel.
Yep.
Suarez-Reyes was arrested as part of a recent crackdown by ICE at airports across the country.
ICE is here, help us!
Back in Texas, he says he deeply misses his fiancée, who remains in ICE
Well, why doesn't he go down to Venezuela and marry her?
custody, facing deportation.
Jasmine's good as gold. Love Jasmine.
Tearless crying going on by the sugar daddy. Oh my goodness. Let me rewind to the fake crying. Hold on.
Who remains in ICE custody, facing deportation.
Jasmine's good as Jasmine. That's it.
All right, go to Venezuela and marry your sugar baby. Oh my goodness. Yes, adios, Jasmine. Is that a Venezuelan name, Jasmine? Sounds like a stripper or a Supreme Court justice nominated by Autopen Biden. Oh my goodness. Call us on hold, stand by. It's the Steve Kane Show. My name is Brian. It is Open MAGA Mike Friday. You can call in about any and everything on your mind on today's show. 888-465-2631. 888-465-2631. We'll be back right after this top of the hour break. What do you guys think? Let me pull up. There's Jasmine. Is that true love there? Look at her dress. Give me a break. Oh my goodness. What do you guys think there about Jasmine and Loverboy here? Yes or no? Is he a sugar daddy? What do you guys think? Is he a sugar daddy? Yes or no, guys? If you're on hold, stand by. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Jasmine's her stage name. Oh man. Well, we know where Doc's head is at. Yeah, I rearranged my studio here. I've got a whole new setup here in this. You guys can't see it. It looks the same to you, but it's completely different for me. Okay. Let's see. Okay. Okay. We are good to go. Okay. I'll take the calls when we get back from the break. This is such BS. There's nothing about that story. Looks like her grandfather. I mean, I would be embarrassed if I were him. I'd like to know what his ex-wife and children think about Jasmine. Wouldn't you? Oh my goodness. Yeah, but that's where Doc's mind is at. If it was true love, why doesn't he go down there and get married? He could marry her. He can travel there, or she can go to another South American country if he can't fly to Venezuela. But we have flights going to Venezuela. How do you say sugar daddy in Spanish? What do you call sugar daddies in Spanish? But you know what? You see how he did it? He compares it to Melania was a self-made multimillionaire from her modeling career. She was a highly paid international supermodel. Bye-bye. Yep. Yeah, bring us proof, fish sticks. That's right. Fish sticks sound good. Maybe I'll get some Gordon's fish sticks for lunch. Okay, we got about 90 seconds, and we'll be back. Call us on hold. Stand by. The number is 888-465-2631. 888-465-2631. It's a toll-free call, no matter where you are. Yes. Let's see here. Okay, I'm going to go to the phones when we get back. A little more than a minute. Now, we beat Iran. Absolutely, we did. Yes, we did. If you're on hold, stand by. By the way, if you could please like the video, guys, I would greatly appreciate it. When you like the video, it gets the video recommended to people that have not yet found the channel. Okay, so please like the video, if you don't mind. We beat Iran on day one when we killed the Ayatollah. Really, I mean, that's it. 50 seconds, we'll be back. Now, she was, Melania's net worth was around $3 million when she married the president, if I remember correctly. All right, 30 seconds. 20 seconds. I'm going to go right to the phones. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
It's Texas calling in.
Oh, right. Hold on one moment, Texas. My phones are just ringing off the hook. Go ahead, Texas. What's on your mind?
Well, that story about that man, I don't really believe he was a Republican because he'd be afraid that she'd be taken away.
The things he was saying sounded more like a Democrat than a MAGA Republican. Give me a break.
Yeah, that's because see, they're trying to make us look bad. That's what it is. But what I really was calling about was worrying about how they're going to track the cheats if the First American Act doesn't get passed before the midterms.
Mm. Well, the way you do it is you swamp them at the polls like we did in 2024.
That's the only way I can see it. And I hope,
massive voter turnout.
Don't get this. Yes, that's what I was calling about. But also the invalid. I wish they'd get rid of the invalid, except when you can't get to the polls. Like me, I have disability. I really don't want to do it yet because I'm not driving anymore. But I hope I get a friend to take me because I really don't want to do invalid. Because there's so much cheating with that. Look at
Okay. Hey, listen. I appreciate the call. Okay, I couldn't really understand her very well. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, it's Mark. I'm from Lakeland, actually.
Mark in Lakeland.
Yeah. More of a question than anything. I'm definitely a Byron Donald fan, so
yes.
He's going to get my vote either way. I understand that if the property taxes are eliminated, it may affect the quality of our law enforcement.
Please, give me a break. Give me a break. First of all, if they're not eliminating property taxes, it's on the ballot. We have to vote on it, but it's to eliminate property taxes on your homesteaded property. Only on homestead properties, right? That's the home you live in.
Yeah, that's the one I live in. And yeah, okay. I guess
so it's not all property taxes. And I don't know what it's like. Lakeland is a little more remote than where I'm at in South Florida. But if I went through my development, I could find police cars in the driveways from probably 4, 5, 6 different agencies. I mean, the cops have plenty of money. They have they have 3 to 4 times as many cars as they need, right? With all these take-home cars and everything. Give me a break.
That was my question, and you answered it delightfully. Thank you very much.
All right, Lakeland, Florida. All right. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Yeah, good morning, Brian. This is Richie. I hope you and Kathy and Emily have wonderful weekends.
Always.
Now, Now, what I really want to talk about today is I want to lighten it up a little bit. I don't want to attack a position, but I do want to attack an idiot.
Which one? I've had several idiots call me this morning, or I don't know which one.
Here we go. Brian, this is Doc from Sebastian. This is Doc from Sebastian, Brian.
No, I'm not going to play along with that. No. That's not.
I was going to say he's talking about fish sticks. He's talking about fish sticks, and well, he's talking about this Venezuelan situation. I'll get into that.
Well, what happened with Doc is he saw the story in the news. Hold on, my phones are ringing. Doc woke up. He saw the story in the news. The woman's hot. And he was just excited, and he was fantasizing that he was the sugar daddy and wanted to talk about her because he's got a, she's hot. That's it. Come on, give me a break. It was so obvious. That's why I ended the call, because it was kind of creepy, tell you the truth.
Yeah, well, pay attention to everything, everyone. My wife is from Venezuela. The fact of the matter is my wife was here legally and had a lot of friends that were Venezuelan that were working in the Sawgrass Mills Mall and the kiosks.
Yeah.
I mean, almost every one of them didn't have papers, and they used to exploit these people in the middle of the mall because the owners were not even there, and these people would have to beg somebody to watch their kiosks while they rented a bathroom.
Yes.
No breaks, no nothing.
Yeah.
You know, and so that this is, but they were taking jobs away from American people. Okay, but what I'm trying to say to you is, the guy knows his wife was passed when she was supposed to leave. So
She's not his wife.
said,
They're not married. He says his fiance. He says his
girlfriend.
fiance. Give me a break.
Yeah, everybody says that.
Yeah, exactly.
When you say, when you say my fiance didn't know, we didn't know why this was happening, but they knew they overextended her legal reason to be here. She could have flown back to Venezuela, and he could have gone down there, and they could, in other words, and reapplied.
And got married. And got married. Even.
Yeah. Yeah, but you know, this is a bunch of baloney. This is a setup once again to attack Trump.
In fact, I would say there's a good chance that ICE saved this guy because he's probably supporting her whole family down there and doesn't even know it, right? She's probably got a man down. I'm sure you've seen her. She's got a man in Venezuela. Give me a break. She's probably already married.
Listen, I knew somebody that was going out with Miss Uruguay.
Miss Uruguay.
1985. Yeah.
Miss Uruguay.
She was gorgeous. She was married to an anchor on Channel 23 News, and he died of cancer. And I remember seeing, he was a lot older than her. She was gorgeous. Brian, when I tell you gorgeous. So my friend, after the husband passed away, my friend started dating her.
Yeah.
She actually went back. She went back down to Uruguay, okay, which is the smallest country in South America. She went back down there. She said she had business to take care of. Turns out, and he was watching her German Shepherd. And for 3 months, she's disappeared. Finds out that she was pregnant and had a boyfriend down there.
Exactly.
And he was being a big fool. He was being a big fool up here at the time.
Yeah.
And she was so beautiful. I want to tell you, if you ever look at Miss Uruguay 1985, which is
let me look her. I'll look her up. Miss Uruguay.
1985.
Uruguay, 1985. Okay, let me look her up here.
Yeah, she went to the Miss World contest, but she was married to a much older man.
Was her name Andrea?
It's so many years ago, Brian. I forgot.
I can only find. Oh, okay. Okay. I think I found her. Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
But it's a picture of her in 1985. She looks like an American girl, really.
Yeah, she did. She was beautiful. She was really beautiful. We saw her in person, but I'll never forget it, Brian. Brian, he had furniture, her furniture in a warehouse up in Pompano. We brought it down. He was living in Hallandale. We brought the furniture down, and I was in the back of a pickup.
So that to sum it up, she had a sugar daddy here, but her real man was in Uruguay, and this guy in Texas, his girl's got a man in Venezuela, and he's supporting that man and the whole family.
Absolutely.
Yeah. What a dope. What a mark.
Yeah, he'd be supporting everybody in our family.
All right. Hold on, Richie. The phones are ringing. Okay. All right, Richie. I appreciate the call out, and everybody's looking up.
Have a good weekend.
And I'm sure Miss Uruguay, everybody's looking up Miss Uruguay 1985 right now. All right. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Good morning, conservative.
Oh, hey, Doug.
You know, my first thing I'd like to say quickly is this AI is getting totally out of control. Chuck Schumer, I haven't liked Chuck Schumer as long as I can remember. But there's a video of him out saying, I'm a Muslim, Islam, we're taking over the...
yeah, I know. I've seen some of them, yeah.
That one is done so well. It's like Hollywood quality, man. That most people, I think, they'll see it, will believe it. The only way I figured it was AI is that he looks slightly younger than he is. But, man, it was too good. And especially in these times that we're having where the Muslim Brotherhood and everybody wants to take over. The Congress got to pass something that if you put something like AI out, it should be some sort of notice on the screen.
You know, the thing with AI technology that's so scary is how fast it's advanced.
Oh man!
In the last 5 years, yeah.
Give it another couple of years, you won't need any actors anymore or nothing. It's going to be all just AI. But anyway, the other thing is this fish character.
Fish sticks.
He's down so far. Fish stick, yeah. He's down so far. He's unlikable. You know, I heard him speech that, I'm going to stop real estate taxes. Oh, really? Instead of saying, Ron DeSantis tried, he did the best he could, I'll continue. He just says, I'm going to do it. If DeSantis can't do it, what makes you think he can do it?
Yeah.
This guy has, and then he said now he's lying about Brian Don. Man, whatever President Trump wants, I'm voting with President Trump.
Absolutely, me too.
And I'm sure if anything that was really bad about Byron Downs came out,
no doubt. All right, Doug, I got to run. The clock's ticking. All right, take care. All right, you're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
This is John from Champaign, Illinois.
Hey, John, take care. Oh, boy. Okay, if you're on hold, stand by. I know who that is. He's called before. That's why I ended it before he got to his grand finale. You're listening to the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest running radio show. My name is Brian Craig. We'll take our break and be right back. All right. Yeah, this is who Richie was talking about. Here's who Richie was. Miss Uruguay, 1985, okay? I don't have any recent pictures, but that's who Richie's talking about. These guys. You can see how bad men are, right? It's like a domino. Doc gets all excited over the Venezuelan girl, and then Richie's having flashbacks to the sugar daddy and Miss Uruguay, 1985. Oh, my goodness, guys, that's why honeypots are so effective in this country, right? It's the main reason. Okay. Oh my goodness, I don't know how I'm going to get all this done. Okay, we'll be back shortly. Okay, I'm gonna take a quick break, guys, and then we'll be back with more of your calls and a lot more right after this.
Are you looking for a simple way to bring more wellness into your everyday life? You can do just that with Veda Life, your trusted source for premium wellness products inspired by natural living and timeless traditions. From beautifully crafted copper water bottles, copper mugs, to eco-friendly cork yoga mats and wellness accessories, every product is thoughtfully selected to support a healthier lifestyle. Complete your self-care routine with Veda Life's Elegance Bronze Tools, designed to help you relax, refresh, and rejuvenate. Whether you're building a wellness routine or searching for that perfect gift, Veda Life offers quality products you'll enjoy for years to come. They ship worldwide, too, making it easy to experience premium wellness wherever you are. Follow Veda Life on Facebook and Instagram at Veda Life CA. That's VEDA. And visit them online at VedaLife.ca to explore the complete collection. That's VedaLife.ca, where wellness meets quality. VedaLife.ca.
All right, we'll be back in less than a minute, guys. We're still in radio break. If you're on hold, hang in there. If you'd like to call in, it is open phones today because it's Friday. You can call in on Friday's show about any and everything on your mind. The number is toll-free, 888-465-2631, 888-465-2631. Toll-free call. We have about 30 seconds. 20 seconds. All right, we're back. I'm Brian, Steve Kane Show. I tell you, men are weak. Men are weak, and so Doc calls in. He's got the hots for the Venezuelan sugar baby that the sugar daddy got with the deportation, and he can't control himself, so he's calling in with that. And then Richie's having flashbacks to Miss Uruguay, 1985, who had a sugar daddy in Miami. You can see why why the CCP and the Russians use honeypots, because men are weak. Men are weak. But you know what I've learned in my life? You know what kind of men are weak? The ones that couldn't get girls in high school. Is what my wife tells me that too. If you couldn't get girls in high school or college, when you grow up, you're weak. If you're on hold standby, today's Friday. The weekend is an hour and 41 minutes away, 9 o'clock. Doesn't your weekend begin at 9 a.m.? Mine does. Doesn't everyone's? Listen, if you are suffering with pain, aches, whatever it is, don't go through the weekend that way. Go see Dr. Appleton and talk to him about his robotic laser wave pain treatment. Walk-ins are welcome, even on Saturdays. His robotic laser works, guys. Acute and chronic pain, herniated disc, rotary tears, plantar fasciitis, fibromyalgia, spinal stenosis, sciatica, tinnitus, knee conditions, neck and back injuries, post and pre-surgical pains, TMJ, gout, bone-on-bone arthritis, bursitis. It works on all these pains and so many more. Don't start the weekend suffering. Start the weekend and get your life back, a pain-free life with Dr. Appleton's Laser Away Pain Treatment. And of course, there's no downtime, no surgery, no drugs, no shots. The robotic laser is 100% painless. You don't even feel it when it's happening. Give them a call. The consultation is free. 954-973-0710. 954-973-0710. That's 954-973-0710. And online, AppletonCairo.com. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Oh, good morning, Brian. This is Nicole from Martin County.
Hey, what's up?
I'm a big Donaldson fan. I'm going to vote for him, and I was going to vote on voting day, but I'm going in early tomorrow.
Yeah, me too.
That vote.
Me too. I'm getting together with some friends at the gun range in the morning, so I think I'm gonna early vote, just to stick it to fish sticks.
I'm going to your life imaging place in the morning in Jupiter, and then on the way home, I'm going to early voting.
Awesome.
So I'll have to let you know how that turned out as well. However, one of the reasons I'm calling, because I need a good comeback for a friend of mine who's on the line about voting for Donaldson. She was all in for him until he started being a big proponent of these AI data centers. And I say to her, they're going to happen whether he's elected or somebody else is elected. How do you feel about that?
Well, this is the thing, okay? With all of a sudden, data centers or data centers are like the big boogeyman, right? What data centers are, they're the internet is a utility, right? Like the water treatment plants, like the electrical grid, and we all have those electrical little things in our neighborhoods that go bzz. The data centers are the utility of the internet. We all use the internet, and we're using it more and more all the time. So they have to increase the ability of them. I mean, that's it. I mean, I don't understand why everybody's. If you're against data centers, you must not use the internet, right? I mean, it doesn't. Let me answer these lines. My phones are ringing off the hook. But it just doesn't. It doesn't make sense to me. Does it to you? Why people are so obsessed with the data centers?
I totally agree. And I told her, I said, well, I'll go ahead and call in and see if he has anything.
Well, what you do is you ask her the question, right? Why are you against data centers? Okay, and then she'll tell you something or whatever. And ask her if she uses the internet. Well, then how she, I'll tell you, my house was built in 1979, right? And a couple years ago, I had to get all new electricity put in the house, all new wiring, a new box, because in 1979, the only thing you had that you plugged in was one, maybe two TVs, your hi-fi stereo, and on occasion, your vacuum cleaner. So, there's just not enough outlets, and the power in the house couldn't handle, all my computers and internet and live streaming and podcast studio and my YouTube studio, and I do TV interviews. So I got a TV. So, you know what I mean? So it's the same thing with the data centers. There's not really a good argument against them. Nobody wants them in their neighborhood. They suck. They use a lot of electricity. They use a lot of water, and they make a lot of noise. Yeah. So I say put them in liberal neighborhoods.
There you go. Well, Brian,
No,
I
there's
won't
no.
keep you.
Yeah.
I love your
Now
program.
let me ask you a question though before you go, because you're from Martin County. Are you listening to us on the radio in Martin County?
Absolutely.
Are you new?
Absolutely.
How long? How long you been listening?
Oh no, I picked you up about 3 years ago, and in fact, if I miss you, I go onto YouTube and watch what I've missed.
All right. Well, I love our MAGA Martin County listeners. Okay, you take care.
Yep, you too. Bye bye.
All right, take care. Take care. Martin County is the most MAGA county you've ever been in. If you've never been to Martin County, it's where Stewart is. You got to go. St. Lucie County is pretty MAGA too. I know our St. Lucie people. I don't want you to feel left out. But plus, I like the ring of MAGA Martin County. Okay, let's go back to the phones. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
You fucking fat.
There we go. All right. First dump of the day, Mike. First dump of the day. But I'll tell you. You know what's good about when when we have to hit the dump button? It's a great cue for me to do a spot. And the nice lady I just talked to from MAGA Martin County, she said she's heading over to Life Imaging in Jupiter. Yeah, they have locations in Palm Beach, Broward, Dade, and in Orlando. And Life Imaging is amazing because they are literally saving lives each and every day, because people go into Life Imaging, they have the heart scan, and sometimes they're very lucky like me. No blockage, no plaque buildup. I get that weight off my shoulders. I don't have to worry anymore because I know I've got the heart of a 25-year-old. But oftentimes people go in there and find out that they have blockage without any symptoms. So they can go to their doctor, send them to a cardiologist, and get it taken care of before they have that widowmaker heart attack. People find out they have other heart conditions too. I've had some friends that have told me some of the things that they have found that they had no idea that they had. Now, when you're over there at Life Imaging FLA, make sure you ask them about their cancer screening too and virtual colonography. These tests at Life Imaging just take a few short minutes. You don't have to undress and put on a robe or anything. I thought I was going to have to do that. When I wore my shirt, my jeans, I didn't even have to take off my watch. And when I went into the room for the scan, I started taking off my watch. She's like, "What are you doing?" I said, "I'm getting right now." She's like, "You leave all that on, no problem." And it's also open. You're not in anything enclosed, and it takes just a few short minutes. Call now for your free heart scan with a few minimum requirements valued at $699. From your cell, dial pound 250 and say free heart scan. You'll be connected in seconds. That's pound 250, say free heart scan, and you will be connected in seconds. Call is on hold, stand by. It's the Steve Kane Show. My name is Brian Craig, back right after this. Okay, guys, if you're on hold, hang in there, okay? I'll get back to the calls after the break.
What if you could understand the Bible is one complete story, from creation to Jesus to the fulfillment of end times prophecy? Now you can, with engaging, eye-opening Bible study live streams, where Scripture comes together in a clear, easy-to-follow way that will deepen your understanding of God's Word. Discover how the events unfolding in today's world fit into the bigger picture God revealed throughout the Bible. Explore biblical prophecy and what it says about the future. Compare God's truth with Satan's deception. Examine the evidence for creation.
All right, guys, we'll be back shortly. We're still in break. If you're on hold, stand by. All right, hang in there. We're still in radio break. Oh, my goodness. Ugh. All right, and it's time to check in with Attorney Barry Siegel from the Siegel Law Group. Attorney Barry Siegel, good morning.
Brian, good morning. How are you today?
I'm doing well. What do you have for us this morning?
Well, we are helping people with their planning throughout the state of Florida, coast to coast. We're helping people in Naples today. We're seeing a lot of the nice people here today, and but today I wanted to talk about the long-term care issue and the importance of having a plan to make sure that you have a plan when that time comes. You know, sometimes you know, we don't think ahead. We don't think these things are going to happen to us, and these things could be that you, or if you're married, your spouse may need some level of care at some point. If you need help with activities of daily living, feeding yourself, bathing, dressing, toileting, medicine management, any of those kinds of things. If you're not able to do that at some point, you may need some help. You may need some care. Whether it be somebody to come to your home to help you, or living in this. And the problem is, all of those options are expensive, and they're only getting more and more expensive. So if you don't have long-term care insurance and you don't want to spend down your assets and potentially go broke, you need to come and see us. We could devise a plan for you so that you have the opportunity to qualify to get government benefits to pay for that, or at least to pay for most of that. Or if you or your
Barry, we got a bit of a bad connection that just clicked in. Everything was going well. Okay, yeah, we're starting to lose the connection there at the end. But let me give out the information. Listen, guys, call the Siegel Law Group and schedule your no charge in-office consultation, and do not make the mistake of thinking that you have too much money or too many assets to qualify for Medicaid planning. All right, go schedule your no charge in-office consultation. Share your situation with the Siegel Law Group, and they'll evaluate everything for you. Here's the number, 855-FLA-3782. 855-FLA-3782. That's 855-FLA-3782. 3782. And online, SiegelLawGroup.com. And I always get jealous, Barry, when you tell me you're in Naples on the Gulf Coast, which is amazing.
It is.
It is.
And, anyway, have a great weekend, and I'll talk to you next week.
Indeed. All right. Take care. Take care. All right. Callers on hold. Stand by. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hi, Brian. My name is Dennis. I'm calling from Maui.
Maui. Okay. What's up, Maui?
Hey, just kind of out of the box kind of a question, but
Oh, here we go.
I'm just wondering what you think of having Josh Hawley as a Veep.
J.D. Vance is doing a pretty good job. Why would you want to have somebody else?
Yeah. No. I mean, in the election, you think Hawley would be a good Veep choice?
Vice President of the United States?
Yes.
When?
I mean, I think Vance would be a great.
I'll tell you this. Okay, yeah, this is way outside the box of anything, but it is open phones on Fridays, so you can call in about any and everything on your mind. Whoever the vice presidents are, with rare exceptions, it never matters. Nobody votes for the vice president. There may have been a time long ago when someone like Lyndon Johnson could get that Southern Klan vote of the Democrats for Kennedy that they were so desperate for. But the days of vice presidents bringing anything to the ticket are long gone. It doesn't matter. It just doesn't matter whoever is the running mate. No one votes for the vice president.
But I do think it matters when you look at the ticket. I do think that people do kind of care about the entire package.
Really, when have you not voted for a president because of who their VP pick was?
No, I'm not saying that people will vote or not vote for a person because of the Veep, but I'm just saying, like, you look at the whole package, it's kind of important. So I'm just saying, I think personally, watching him in these, he's been like really, he's like a bulldog.
My pick in 2028 for vice president is J.D. Vance to continue as President Trump's vice president in the president's third term. That's my pick.
I hear you. I'm with you on that one, but
yeah. Are the Hawaiians really racist against white people out there? Because I hear that white people can't get jobs or anything out there, that the native Hawaiians are racist. Is that true? They're tribal?
It's a very, very, very tough place for a conservative to live.
Oh, I bet. Yeah.
It's very, very hard. It's an expensive place. And
yes.
It's just, it's tough.
It's tough. All right, hey man, thanks for the call from Maui. Just all right, take care. All right. We're national people. It's awesome. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Yeah, you're a cocksucker.
There we go. All right, second dump of the day, Mike. There we go. Oh my goodness. If you're on hold, stand by. Why do I never get perverted women calling me? Why is it always perverted men? I just don't I don't get it. And the weird thing is, okay, I thought this would have died off. When I first started on the air, when I was 19 or 20, I had that problem. And you would think at the age of 55 that the gay men would lose their interest in me, but they don't. It actually gets worse. I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is. Oh my goodness. But speaking of gay men, let me pull this story up. This is, if you're on hold, stand by. I'm waiting for the delay to re-engage before we take more calls. The Florida's No Children at Drag Shows law has been upheld by a federal appeals court. Here's the thing, there are some things that are just so stupid that liberals have advocated for, right? Defund the police. They want no borders, drag shows in the schools. There's nothing wrong with drag shows. We used to advertise many years ago on the radio a supper club that had drag shows, female impersonators. But it's adult entertainment. It was adult entertainment, okay? And it was called The Cabaret. I remember it well. It was called The Cabaret, and it was in downtown Fort Lauderdale, over by the Broward Center for the Performing Arts. And this is a true story, okay? Because I remember doing the spots for The Cabaret, and it was so hilarious because they were female impersonators, and let me tell you, they were top tier, not like these people that you see these days running around. You know, the street is still the same name. So you know that area in downtown Fort Lauderdale, guys, where the Broward Center is, and the IMAX with the science place and all that. Do you know what that street's called? And I remember when we would have to give out the address for the female impersonator supper club, the Cabaret. It is on a street called Himmershe Street. I swear to you, it is called Himmershe Street till this day. And I remember doing the spots for go to the Cabaret and see the female impersonators right on the corner of Himmershe, and I forgot the other street. I couldn't believe it. It's like they named the street was named that before they built the club. It was very strange. That's a true story. Those of you in Fort Lauderdale know exactly what I'm talking about. It was. I remember doing the spots, and it was like, you know, hilarious. Callers would call in, and all right, let's go. The delay's re-engaged. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
This is Maddie from Sunrise.
Hey, Maddie.
Hi there. I voted absentee ballot, and I guess it came in maybe 2 weeks ago. And of course, I voted for Brian Daniels.
Byron Donalds. Byron Donalds. Yes.
Exactly,
Yes.
exactly. What I didn't vote for is there was a lot of other people on the ballot, the Republicans. I don't know who's fake MAGA. I don't know who's real MAGA. So I just left everything else blank. Donaldson's the only one I voted for.
You know, I do that a lot. When I go and vote, and a lot of times you don't know who these people are. And in particular, in Florida, the judges, they are supposedly nonpartisan. So if you don't know who they are, you don't know who's Republican or Democrat. So if I don't know who someone is, if I don't know who either one of them is, I leave it blank often. I don't just vote blindly. Yeah, I don't, no.
The thing is about leaving it blank, I was just thinking about it. Maybe, I don't even know if this would be legal, I would like to put X's on all of them. So
I wouldn't do that. I don't know what that would do, but I would not recommend doing that. Oh, so a Democrat doesn't fill. Yeah, and if you remember in the 2000 recount, they did this thing on voter intent. If some of you remember the hole punch ballots, which I really miss, they were like those old IBM cards where we used to vote in Florida. We had this little, it was like a metal pen, not like an ink pen, but a metal pen, and you stuck it through the hole and it went through the card. And and if the Chad didn't go all the way through, they wanted to see how people voted down ballot for other races. And if they voted mostly Democrat, their intent would have been for Al Gore. Remember that? You know?
I do remember.
Oh my goodness.
I do. Yeah, I just didn't know who anybody was, so I just left everything blank.
No, do it.
Donaldson.
Do it, yes.
Yeah, that was it. So anyway, that's all I have to say, so have a great day.
All right, take care. All right, if you're on hold, hang in there. I want to talk about Joe Thomas and annuities. You know, annuities are absolutely amazing. And when I met with you, and I've told you guys, I've heard guys on the radio talk about annuities my whole life. And I remember when I met Joe Thomas for the first time, we met up at the radio station, and I told him that. I said we didn't even know each other. I just met him, and I said, I've been hearing guys on the radio talking about annuities, and I don't understand what they are, even though they talk about them all the time. And Joe explained to me what annuities are. And in less than 60 seconds, not only did I understand them, I said, why isn't everybody doing this, right? So imagine, he was able to explain to me in 60 seconds what decades of hearing people talk endlessly about didn't, which was explain to me exactly what they are. And you call Joe Thomas and schedule your no-charge consultation, and he'll tell you in a lot more detail because he's the financial advisor and the expert. However, this is what's important. Your money is never at risk. No matter what happens in the stock market, you don't lose a penny, and you're guaranteed a check every month for the rest of your life, automatically deposited into your bank account. It's a great way to get another income stream going, and those of you out there, you downsize because you're retired, your kids grow up and you downsize, instead of taking that money and buying an RV and driving around for 6 months and realize you don't like RVs, take that money, put it into an annuity, right? And get that income stream coming in each and every month. It is life-changing. Joe Thomas calls it mailbox money. Now, when you call Joe Thomas, he'll put together a custom proposal just for you based on your situation and your goals. And also, guys, obviously, annuities are good for people of all income brackets. Annuities have been something that's been very popular with the wealthy in this country for a long, long time. In fact, my wife and I, we were reading an old Sherlock Holmes book, and they were talking about annuities. In Pride and Prejudice, if you read Pride and Prejudice, my wife was reading Pride and Prejudice, and they were talking about their annuities in Pride and Prejudice. And this is how old money people put their money in so that they weren't risking their nest egg and had income coming in. And, a few decades ago, annuities became available to regular people, okay? And so they're not new. They've been around for a long time. And also annuities, the thing about annuities, you can be of any income level, all right? Obviously, wealthy people, upper middle class people, high income earners, but don't assume that you don't have enough money, okay? Don't assume that. Tell your situation to Joe Thomas. Okay, here's your number to call him, 561-743-0999, 561-743-0999. That's 561-743-0999. And online, JupiterJoe.com. We'll be right back. Okay, guys, hang in there. Okay, I've done 2, 3. Okay, I got one. Okay, I got that one. Okay. I just got to get organized with what I'm doing. I've lost track of time. It's almost 8 o'clock. Holy smokes. Okay. Oh, yes, I want to get into this story and get back. It's a little unrelated, but it's important. Okay. Okay. All right, hang in there. If you'd like to call in, the number's toll free and it's pinned in the live chat. And remember, Friday, you can call in about any and everything on your mind, okay? Friday is Open MAGA Mike Friday, and as you can tell by some of the calls, no matter what's on your, like the guy with Josh Hawley, I mean, these are some way out of left field stuff. Monday through Thursday, you got to call in about what we're talking about. On Friday's show, the show prep's up to you. You can call in about anything and everything you want to talk about. And the number's toll free. It's pinned in the live chat, 888-465-2631. 888-465-2631. Someone put in the chat, FDT. Yeah, I agree with that. Forever Donald Trump. Absolutely. Forever Donald Trump. That's right. FDT. Forever Donald Trump. That's awesome. Can I get a hat that says Forever Donald Trump? I like that. You guys like that? FDT. Forever Donald Trump. That is so cool. I tell you, we got creative people in this live chat today, coming up with some things there. That one never occurred to me before. Wow. We have just over a minute and we'll be back. Forever Donald Trump. I love it. Yeah. Yeah, that's a good one. Okay, less than a minute, and we'll be back. right, stand by. Yeah, forever Donald Trump. I love it. I bet you the president would love that one too. 30 seconds, less than 30 seconds. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Yeah, hey Brian, Bob from West Palm Beach. How you doing?
All right, West Palm, what's up?
Okay, I wanted to comment about that last call or about the voter intent. I want you guys to know that they reinstated that. The Palm Beach County Canvassing Board reinstated that voter intent law.
What?
Where they will, if you got an undervote, it's called an undervote, and they will decide what your voter intent was.
Oh my
And it'll
goodness.
be all willy-nilly. Oh yeah. So I say, please do your homework on these candidates.
Oh my goodness. I got to look into that because I've been leaving stuff blank for years. When did that happen?
24.
Oh
my
my.
Canvassing board meeting, and I was there when they decided
That's
to
insane.
do that. We were up in arms.
Oh, so hold on a second here. How does that work?
Yeah.
They got a ballot that has some thing, like I don't know who's running for the darn judge because it's nonpartisan, and so I don't know if they're a Republican or a Democrat. So I leave it blank, right? Sometimes they run opposed. So with voter intent, do they get a vote? How does that work?
The Canvassing board members do it behind closed doors. You don't know what they're doing.
That's insane.
Unless you do a public records request or a FOIA to get those records, you'll never know.
So I could leaving something blank could mean I'm voting for Democrats.
You're darn right.
You know,
Democrats.
Is there anything about Democrats that's not corrupt and dishonest? Is there any goodness in them at all?
Nope. No way.
You know,
got to get involved. Brian, people got to get involved.
Let me tell you this. During the 2000 recount here in South Florida, I was in the vote counting rooms every day. In Broward, I lived down the street from where they were doing it, so I went over there every day. And I was talking to people about it at the time, and this is when I really started to understand Democrats in a whole new way, was in the 2000 recount in Florida. And one of the Republican RNC people told me, they said, Democrats, they're so arrogant, right? They think that they represent the people. And if you represent the people, you're entitled to do whatever lying and cheating you got to do because you're representing the people. And they justify what they're doing. They don't sit around and think they're criminals. They think that they're heroes. They really do. They're sick.
Yep.
All right.
Yep. Well, I'll tell you what. I wouldn't trust the REC any further than I could throw them either.
No, I don't know. They're the worst. They're the worst. Look no further than John Thune. But I've been reading a lot of it because I live in Palm Beach County too, okay? And I've been reading a lot of analysis that they think that Palm Beach County is going to go red, that we're on the verge of going red for the first time.
Brian, I believe Palm Beach County is red, but if not for the cheating.
Yes, it's true.
That's where we're at.
It's so true. So true.
Before I take up too much of your time, there's a canvassing board meeting today at 9 o'clock. I would encourage everybody to attend that.
No, don't anybody go to that. No, I don't encourage people to go to meetings. I wouldn't go. If you're going to be there, be there, but I'm not going, and I wouldn't. But I agree with you because, I travel through all of Palm Beach County on occasion, but for the most part, it's pretty MAGA. I don't seem to run into really too many anti-MAGA people in Palm Beach. The airport was renamed, but the Palm Beach County Commission has been. They named Southern Boulevard after President Trump. They renamed the airport after President Trump. So there's been some changes.
I'm in with that.
All right.
Of course, I'm a Trump. I'm total MAGA. However. If we put pressure on Wendy Link and the people at the canvassing board, the members, we may be able to make an impact.
No, I don't want to. I don't know. I don't know. I'll look into that. But that I'm going to look at. I'm not distrusting you. I believe you. But I'm going to look into this voter intent nonsense because that's scary as hell. I can't even believe that's. What is this? Venezuela? Right? I mean, what the heck?
Palm Beach County.
This isn't Miami. It's Palm Beach. Okay. All right. Take care, man. Thanks for the call. I want to share this story, which is really more of a public service than anything. You may see this story because there's video. A 15-year-old teenager has been charged with murder after suspect was seen going door to door dressed as a clown in chilling ring video as tragic details of elderly neighbor's death are revealed. The 15-year-old Illinois boy was captured on video going door to door dressed as a clown, and his identity has not been disclosed because he's 15. He was taken into custody. The victim was identified as a 78-year-old man. Illinois State Police said, well, let me skip down a little bit. Well, I'll just tell you the story. I'm not going to read through the story. He was knocking on people's doors until they opened, and somebody opened, and now they're dead. Don't open your door for anyone. Do not open your door for anyone. I don't open my door for anybody. Surprisingly, unless I know them, I don't open the door for anyone. My wife and I, we do DoorDash and Instacart, right? And we rarely go shopping or anything, and we have it delivered. I don't even open the door up for those people. We have them leave them on the front porch, okay? Because I don't want them to see what the house is. I know who's home or anything. Never open your door. I have people coming lately, I'm very surprised, for political campaigns. Not with the campaign. I don't open the door. Do not open the door unless you know who the people are. It's a very common way that people get killed like this person. It's very dangerous. All right, let's go. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hi, Brian. Ray of Sunrise.
Hey, Ray. What's up?
It's been a long time, but, the people calling about the voting. I have here in my hand, I get stuff in the mail all the time, Broward County Voter Guide. What it is a Democrat voting guide.
Absolutely.
And they have all of the offices, and they have highlighted in black each one that the Democrat, lockstep, vote for these people. They have them all indicated. Now, where in the world are the Republicans? You can't find anything like this from the Republicans. For years I know about this kind of stuff. You can't find anything.
That's true.
And the other thing, the other fellow that called, there's something called protectthevote.com where you can track your vote. I don't know if that does any good, but, as you said, you can't stop these Democrats. They're evil people. That's what we have to understand.
That's
They're
true.
not bad. They're not different.
Evil.
They're not violent. They're evil. They're evil.
Yes.
They're the work of Satan.
Yeah.
They're the work of Satan.
Literally.
In the world.
Literally, not figuratively. They literally are. There's no question about it. Yeah.
Absolutely. When you understand that, everything else falls into place.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay. Have a great weekend.
All right.
You're doing a great job as always. Good job.
All right, thank you. Ray from Sunrise. Ray's been on some of our MAGA cruises. All right, I cannot believe we're coming up on the 8 o'clock hour. Oh my goodness. This show is flying by. If you're on hold, stand by. It is open phones on Friday, open MAGA Mike Friday. You can call in about any and everything on your mind. Monday through Thursday, you got to call in about what we're talking about. But on Friday, it is open MAGA Mike Friday. You can call in about any and everything on your mind. The number is 888-465-2631. 888-465-2631. All right, it's toll-free call no matter where you are listening. And after the top of the hour break, we'll get back to the calls. And I have a lot more to get into as well. All right, so I've only just scratched the surface. I haven't even gotten into this birth tourism story yet, which we got to cover, and a few other things. It's the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest running radio show. My name is Brian. We'll take our break for the top of the hour and be back right after this. All right, I'm a little off of my schedule, guys. I got to get organized here. I lost track of time. Things just went by so fast in that hour. Okay. Oh yeah, where's this story I want to get to? There's a story, I know I have this story on my X somewhere. There it is, okay. All right. Okay, we got a couple minutes till we're back. If you're on hold, stand by. Okay, I'll be right back with you. We'll be back shortly, guys. We've got about a minute, guys, and we'll be back. Less than a minute. About 35 seconds. All right, we're back. The 8 o'clock hour has begun. It's the Steve Kane Show. I'm Brian Craig. I just want to finish up on that answering the door because I was running short on time and I didn't finish. I was talking about this old man in Illinois who was killed because he opened the door to this strange kid dressed as a clown. I mean, my goodness, it's not even Halloween time. And I was talking about how not to open your door for people. It's dangerous. Before I was married and I lived in downtown Fort Lauderdale, I got a knock at the door and I went and answered it, and it was a guy. I went, asking me something. I can't remember. I went to shut the door. He put his foot in the door to try to stop me from shutting it, and I had to push him back, shut it, lock it. It was not easy, and call the police. It was an attempted home invasion. And downtown Fort Lauderdale, they got, it's like the night of the living dead down there with all the homeless they have wandering the streets. It's bizarre. I can't believe I see this even still today. You're walking around the beautiful Riverwalk in Fort Lauderdale, and you're looking at the pretty flowers in the bushes, and there's a homeless person sleeping there. It's ridiculous. It's how liberals are. But it is very dangerous to open your door for people. Very dangerous. No question about it. Tucker Carlson has released a 10-point manifesto for his third party. It's a 10-point manifesto. The only people that put together and release manifestos are nuts. The Unabomber had a manifesto. Do you know sane people who release 10-point manifestos? Is there a normal sane person that you know of that has released a 10-point manifesto in your time? I don't know of anyone. When I think of manifestos, I think of the Unabomber. That's the only person I know of that released a manifesto. I'm trying to think. I can't think of another one. But you got to keep your eye on Tucker Carlson, okay? Tucker Carlson. And by the way, on the door thing, before I get back to Tucker, I was telling you guys I'm buying a shotgun, and I haven't had a shotgun since I was a kid, and I went to the gun shop, and I was unfamiliar with the semi-auto shotguns. Oh my goodness. I fell in love with that gun. Those semi-auto shotguns are, have any of you ever seen or shot a semi-auto shotgun? It is the most cool thing. I was looking at the Beretta semi-auto shotgun, but I didn't get, because I wanted to talk to my wife first, and we're getting the old-fashioned one, so you can go. And I was telling you guys, if you've got someone that's at your door attempting to break in, like this kid that was dressed as a clown, if I was on the inside of my house or my wife and we ratcheted that shotgun, that kid would have run faster than any clown you've ever seen. So that's why, even though the semi-auto, and I was talking to the guy at the gun shop, and I told him that, and he said I would rather be the one that lets them know. Yeah, I'm like, no. He was trying to tell me how if I ratchet it, I'm letting them know what kind of weapon I have. I said, please. I don't think so. I love the semi-auto shotgun, but it doesn't make that noise. And that Beretta semi-auto shotgun is it is probably the coolest gun I have ever seen in my life. I just was like, oh my! I've never been so excited about a gun as that one. But when you've got the old pump action shotgun, that noise. I think you have, with that noise, it's really loud, and there's no noise like it in the world, and everyone knows what it means. Everyone knows what it means. And, I personally believe a shotgun is the best gun for home defense, because first off, you can't miss. But when that noise comes up, even though you may spit out a shell that you haven't fired, I know they'll tell you you're not supposed to do that. But the sound alone is one of the most terrifying sounds a burglar or a home invader will ever hear. And believe me, there's a greater than 90% chance that they're going to run for the hills as soon as you rack that pump action shotgun, and it may stop you from having to use the weapon and shoot someone, right? And to me, the goal is to not have to shoot someone. And there's no noise like that in the world. That'll be it. And as much as I love that semi-auto Beretta, and the recoil from the semi-auto Beretta is less than on the pump action shotgun, but it just doesn't make that noise, because it's got I'm not sure what you call it. It's got the rack on the side that you do it, and it's really quiet. It just does. I did it a few times. It makes like no noise. They wouldn't hear that through my steel front door. And with the pump action, I told my wife, I said, why don't we get like 2 or 3 of them, and we'll keep them, one in the bedroom, one in the living room, one in my office. We'll have them all over the house. We'll be ready to go. All right. So anyway, let me get back to Tucker and his 10-point manifesto. And this is not a joke, okay? With Tucker Carlson and Marjorie Trader Green and Massey and Joe Kent and what they're doing with this third party. I know most people are laughing it off. Don't laugh it off. And this may be a moneymaker for Marjorie Trader Green and Tucker and all that. I get it. But this is a possible problem, okay? Now, first off, again, with the 10-point manifesto he released, only crazy people release manifestos, in my opinion. You can agree or disagree with that. But what they will do with this is they're billing the Tucker Carlson, Marjorie Trader Green third party. They're billing this and building what they're trying to say is they're the party for the MAGA who felt lied to by Trump. And Trump hasn't told us any lies. I mean, this is just nonsense. But that's how they're billing it. And it's not going to be a national party, and they're not going to be able to win the national election. But they don't need to or want to. The Republican establishment, the Uniparty, the rhinos, their one goal is to retake control of the country away from the MAGA Republicans. And what they will do is get their candidate on the ballot. They only need them in a handful of states, okay? To get them on the ballot in a handful of states to take votes away from the MAGA candidate in the general election. And that'll be for senators, for governors, for the president. They may even start running them as Republicans in primaries to try to unseat, future MAGA candidates and everything else. So don't just laugh off what Tucker Carlson's doing here with this third party. I know he's nuts because you don't release a manifesto unless you're a nutbag, okay? Only crazy people release manifestos. And he had 10 points. And I know he would probably tell himself, well, this is just like the Contract for America of Newt Gingrich's in 1994. No, Newt didn't call it a manifesto. It was the Contract for America. Manifestos are for nuts. And Tucker's a nut. And so's Marjorie Trader Green, by the way. And so's Massey. They're all nuts, okay? But no, this is something we got to watch out for because the Tucker Carlson third party will probably happen, and it'll just be a party to sabotage. And, the Democrats have a history of doing this. So remember, the Uniparty, these rhinos are Democrats. A lot of times I've seen this happen in congressional races around the country over the years. The Democrats will put somebody on the ballot from the Patriot Party or the Libertarian Party where they sound conservative, and it's all to trick conservatives and split the vote during the general election. They know all kinds of tricks, and they have mathematicians and statisticians that work for them, so they know where they can target and do damage. So no, this is not a joke, and it's something we've got to keep our eye on. Now, nothing's going to split the MAGA movement, and they think it will, and they think when Trump's out of office, that the movement will fall apart. It won't, because when he's out of office, he'll still be here. Okay, for many, many years, endorsing and holding rallies. I want to talk about Coastal Weight Loss Secret, the home of the metabolic reset. And if you go to their website, coastalweightlossecret.com, right at the top of the website, it says virtual appointments available. That's right. Virtual appointments available. You can take advantage of Coastal Weight Loss Secret no matter where you are in the United States. But also, if you're here locally, you can also have a virtual appointment even if you're local, okay? And I'm going to tell you, it works. When I first started Coastal Weight Loss Secret, I didn't talk about it on the show for a couple of weeks, until I was on it for a couple of weeks. And the reason that is, I'd never been on any type of diet before, of any kind, other than, okay, I got to lose a few pounds because I got this thing coming up. I'd never been on like a plan where I was actually going to lose weight. And everybody always tells me, oh, it's so hard and you can't do it. And you got to exercise and you got to starve yourself and you got to eat things that taste terrible. None of that's true with Coastal Weight Loss Secret, by the way. But after the first 2 weeks, I dropped a lot. I lost 25 pounds in 3 weeks. So in the first 2 weeks, I'd lost like 15 or something, and it was like amazing. And then I started telling you about it. And I realized Coastal Weight Loss Secret, it's easy. No exercise. I'm not starving myself. I'm eating foods I would normally eat and all of that. It's awesome. And I've kept all the weight off. I hit my goal weight over a year ago. I've gained none of the weight back. And if you guys look at me, go on YouTube and look at some of my videos from 2 years ago. In particular, look at the documentary I did a couple days after the assassination attempt of the president at the golf course in Palm Beach. I did an entire documentary showing you, I went up to where the shooter was and all the way through it. And that is one of my favorite videos I've ever done on YouTube. It's a documentary, but my face is round. I'm huge. I mean, it's, it's, I wish I could reshoot it with my square jaw and my flat stomach. But you go back and look at some of my old YouTube videos that are, say, 2 years ago, and go on YouTube and look at me this week, and you'll see exactly what I'm talking about, okay? Call Coastal Weight Loss Secret. And the reason I've kept the weight off is because Dr. Zuckerman at Coastal Weight Loss Secret has reset my metabolism. Give them a call for your no-charge consultation, 561-359-3418. 561-359-3418. That's 561-359-3418. And online, coastalweightlasssecret.com. We'll be right back. Okay, guys, if you're on hold, stand by. I'll take some more calls after the break. Okay. Do you know of anyone who's released a manifesto, and they call it a manifesto, who's not nuts? Do you know anyone? I don't know anyone who's done something like that. Okay. Let's see. Okay. Stand by, guys. We'll be back shortly. Well, thank you. Thank you. That's not true. Dee Dee is like, no, you're wrong. All opinions are welcome on the program. All opinions are, we're in a radio break right now, if you're wondering. All opinions are welcome. If I was shutting down opinions that didn't agree with me, why would I let Dee Dee go in here and slander me and disagree with me throughout the show? I mean, that just the point that that's happening is all opinions are welcome, even demented liberal ones. Okay, we got about 25 seconds. We'll be back. Where is that? know, man. All right, we're back. I'm Brian. It's the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest running radio show. Welcome, one and all. If you're on hold, stand by. And again, it is open phones on Friday. You can call in about any and everything on your mind. The number is toll-free, 888-465-2631. And I'll tell you, in the beginning of the show, in the first hour, I went through all these lies of fish sticks about Byron Donalds. Do you know we didn't get one liberal caller calling in attacking Byron Donalds? Even the liberal lowlives can't get themselves to say that that's anything other than just lies about Byron Donalds. That's really amazing. I thought for sure I'd be hearing from some of those. Okay, now, yesterday the president had a great press conference in the Oval Office about the birth tourism. Did you hear this? Let me play a little bit of this. He signed an executive order ending birth tourism. Yeah, and he talked about one person who's got, one guy, rich guy's got 90 kids born in America. And they made some really good points about it. Here's another clip of the press conference. This is Stephen Miller, by the way. Okay, and he goes on. So I didn't realize how bad it was, that there's these global tourist organizations. All they do are fly people here to have babies. I mean, it's crazy. I mean, I don't know how the countries stay together between the invasion, between this, all the CCP students that have student visas in our college. It's amazing that the country is still here, isn't it? All right, let's take some calls. Open MAGA Mike Friday. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, how you doing?
I'm doing well.
Brian.
Yes.
Hey, help me out with my memory. I heard what you just said. The president just signed this thing about birthright citizenship yesterday. But help me out on this. Didn't, while he was president, make some kind of a law or executive order if you pay so much money with these wealthy people, they could come in or something like that?
No.
Last year or
No. Couple things. First off, this was the executive order yesterday was against the birth tourism. There's companies that have an entire business on bringing pregnant women to America so they can give birth in the United States as U.S. citizens. So the executive order yesterday was to end that. What you're talking about is the Trump Gold Card.
Yes.
Okay. This is what
How'd that work?
what but you're pretending not to because you think you're making some point.
No, I don't know. That's why I'm asking you.
Okay.
I don't remember exactly how it was.
Companies sometimes want to bring someone in from another country to work for their company, right? And what you really want them to do is hire Americans. First of all, you'd rather them hire an American than hire a foreigner, right? And you also want to make sure that the people they're bringing into the country for these jobs are really here for the job, okay? So historically, when it comes to buying a home, when you buy a home, I know they've done some things with subprime loans and such, but the rule of thumb, when you buy a home, there's a down payment required, right? What's the typical down payment on a new home?
10%. I don't know. I haven't bought a house in 50 years.
What was that noise?
I don't know. I haven't bought a house in 50 years. I don't remember. 10%,
How old? 50 years? How old are you?
78.
78. You bought a house at 28. You still live there. It's usually 20%. But say it's 10%. It's 20%.
Oh.
Okay. So.
I bought a house at 84.
Okay, that's cool. Good for you. So why do you want to get a down payment on a house? When someone's buying a house, why does the bank giving the loan, why do they want you to put a 10 to 20% down payment on it? Why?
Well, it's a stake in the game.
That's right. So that's right. You have skin in the game. You say it's $100,000 house, so you put $20,000 down. So before you walk away from that 20 grand, you're going to do everything you can. The subprime mortgage crisis in 2008, it was the subprime mortgage crisis. People were buying houses that cost $500,000 or more with no money down. So when they walked away, they didn't lose a down payment. Well, the Trump Gold Card, you're wondering, what am I talking about mortgages for and down payments? The Trump Gold Card's the same thing, okay? A lot of companies were bringing people into the country just to get them here. But if they have to pay the government $100,000 before they can get that work visa, they're going to make sure they're doing the right thing, and that they're a real person who's taking the job and working the job, not just over here. First off, they're taking the job away from an American, and number two, they've got an investment in that person. So that's why. Doesn't that make sense?
That was it.
Well, no. Does it make sense to you?
Yeah, I knew we had done something, but I didn't remember what exactly.
Well, this is what you got to know, and maybe you do know this. Trump is always right, and everything he does, he has a good reason, and it's the right thing to do, and it's well thought out.
I know that. I know. I'm with you on that. No problem.
All right. Hey, listen. Appreciate the call, man. All right. Take care. He seems disappointed. Do you think that guy's a Trump guy, or was he a liberal guy? And he just didn't have a comeback to when I explained it. I don't know. I don't know. But I do know this. This morning, when I left the house to go and get my coffee, it was thunderstorming outside. There was lightning everywhere. There's rains everywhere. I mean, it was nuts this morning, wasn't it? Well, it's hurricane season. I know everybody likes to say rainy season. It's hurricane season, and it rains every day. If you've got a wet spot on your ceiling, you've got a leak in your roof, you want to call Tom Laporta over at Laporta Roofing. Tom Laporta is a good MAGA guy, and he'll never sell you a roof you do not need. And what that means is, if you just need a simple repair, Tom Laporta at Laporta Roofing will do it. He works with every type of roofing material and on every type of structure, residential, commercial, municipal. He also does specialty roofs like church roofs. He can handle a job of any size, whether it's one single-family home, one office building, one government building, a single church, or an HOA that has 500 units. He covers both the east and west coast of Florida, from the Atlantic Ocean all the way over to the Gulf of America coast and everywhere in between. This number rings directly to Tom Laporta on his cell phone. So you can call or text 954-604-4602. 954-604-4602. That's 954-604-4602. And online, LaportaRoofing.com. We'll be right back. All right, guys, if you're on hold, stand by. We'll get back to the calls after the break, so don't you go anywhere, all right? The number's pinned in the live chat if you'd like to call in. Let me see here. All right, we'll be right back.
What if you could understand the Bible as one complete story? From creation to Jesus to the fulfillment of end times prophecy. Now you can with engaging, eye-opening Bible study live streams where Scripture comes together in a clear, easy-to-follow way that will deepen your understanding of God's Word. Discover how the events unfolding in today's world fit into the bigger picture God revealed throughout the Bible. Explore biblical prophecy and what it says about the future. Compare God's truth with Satan's deception. Examine the evidence for creation versus evolution and gain fresh insight into the people, places, and promises found throughout Scripture. Whether you're new to Bible study or have been reading the Bible your entire life, these live streams will help you connect the dots, strengthen your faith, and better understand the times we're living in. Don't miss this opportunity to grow in your knowledge of God's Word. Join these life-changing Bible study live streams right now. Find the link in the description of this episode. Share the link on all your social media so your friends can join in too. Again, the link is in the description of this episode. Look in the description and click it right now.
No, the gold report's in the next break. At that Bible study, the link is in the description, guys. So check that out. Okay. We'll be back shortly, guys. We're going to be back in less than a minute. Unreal. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, good morning. This is Bob from Tamarack. How are you?
All right, Tamarack. What's up?
Hey, I don't want to say that you did a disservice on the program for your listeners, but when you leave places blank on your ballot, you know, a lot of these places that people don't know to vote would take about 10 minutes worth of research on the computer to find out the difference in judges and school board people, because usually when you Google these things, it leads to a website called Ballotopia, and Ballotopia is a website.
Hold on a second. Let me, while I answer all the lines coming in. Yeah, I'm familiar with it, but you started by saying, I don't want to say you did a disservice, but you are saying I did a disservice.
Well, okay, all right, so that you're doing a disservice. Let me change my opinion.
Okay.
Because even you said that you're supposed to be an educated person since you host this program every day.
Yeah.
And you yourself say you skip these things that
I've
are
skipped
very
it, yeah.
important.
So sometimes
that's
I'll
wrong
go in.
because
Hold on. Sometimes I'll go in, and there'll be somebody there, and I'm not. And I don't know who they are. In particular, in the judges, because there's a racket in Florida that really I don't like. The judges, they say they're nonpartisan. So you don't know if they're Republican or Democrat. And I am very well informed. And when I go in and vote, I'm an informed voter. But I don't know. I don't have an ego like you. I can admit that I don't know everything. So sometimes I'll go in there and I'll be caught off guard.
But you could do about 5 minutes worth of investigation and find out who's endorsing these judges and who's getting.
So you do.
These judges.
Yeah, but
Why would
DeSantis.
you want to vote for one of the judges that DeSantis has approved to be on the court?
Because DeSantis has endorsed the lieutenant governor running against Byron Donalds. I don't trust the DeSantis endorsement. That doesn't mean much to me.
Well, it means a lot when there's like one guy or a woman who's a Republican being endorsed by DeSantis as opposed to two really wacko liberals.
So like when there's
a Republican on there.
So let me get this straight. Let me get this straight. You act like, so when you go in there and you see like the sewage commissioner, you've done research into the background of the sewage commissioner.
I absolutely do.
Okay, all right.
I absolutely do.
Okay, what was your name? Anal Retentive from Tamarack? I missed your name.
Well, you see, what you do is you call people names.
You call you
That's
you
what
know
you do.
you started the call by saying
I
that.
didn't call you a name. I said
Yeah,
that you have a show 5 days
No,
a
no,
week.
no. You didn't say
and
that.
You will take the time to do research.
No. You
to point
said
people in the right direction.
you said I did a disservice. You started the conversation insulting me.
That's not an insult. That
Yeah,
you
it is.
did a
Oh, that's
disservice.
not an insult. Of course, it's an insult.
No, of course not. You can't take criticism. Is what your
You're on the
problem is.
line. I've kept you on the phone.
So what? What does that got to do
That means
with
I can
anything?
take plenty of criticism. If I couldn't take criticism, I would have ended the call. Obviously,
Well, it sounds like
I
you're
can take
having a
criticism.
connection fit.
No.
That's what it sounds like.
It sounds to me like you've got a bit of an attitude. You're a DeSantis guy.
I don't have an attitude. Why don't you do your research on some
I
of the
do.
most important things that we vote on?
I do.
Instead of leaving it blank.
I do. But sometimes I'm
No,
caught
you
off
don't.
guard.
You say you leave them blank, so you're not
If
doing
I
any
don't
research.
know, if I go in there and I don't know who someone is, I have left it blank, yes.
Well, that's a bad thing to do.
Well, I
If you
didn't,
trust-
I
you
learned,
said
excuse me,
yesterday-
I learned.
You said yesterday on your program that you said that DeSantis, which is, I agree with you on this, the best governor we've ever had.
Yes.
So if he endorses or recommends a candidate for
No.
the court, as opposed, let's say there's 3 people on that ballot for the same spot on the court, why wouldn't you vote for the person that DeSantis recommends for the court?
I don't
do
trust
2 minutes
any,
worth of research
listen.
to get that name.
DeSantis has been an incredible governor, but I don't trust him, and I don't trust his endorsements.
Because he didn't endorse the person that you're voting for governor?
Nope.
Which, by the way, I'm voting for the same person that
Nope.
you're
Nope.
voting for governor.
That's not why. That's not why. He lied to President Trump about running.
I agree with you, and he
Okay.
made a very bad
Yeah,
decision.
he
to run
lied.
against him.
He lied, and
But at the
not
end
only
of the
that, he
day,
lied to
let's
us.
say there's 3 people. Let's say at the end of the day, there's 3 people running for a court position, and you know as well as I do that most of these people that are running to become a judge are wackos.
Yes.
Right? You know as well
Yes.
as I do. Maybe
Yes.
you can find one sane person that just maybe you're not familiar with because you're doing things.
I
in your
will
life,
agree
you're
with you.
hosting
I
your
will
show.
listen. I will agree with you on this. Okay. The caller that called earlier from Palm Beach that told me about the voter intent law. Okay. I will not leave anything blank on the ballots moving forward just because of that knowledge. Okay.
Well, I'm glad that we both taught you something today.
But now you didn't teach me anything. But you
did.
you have no, you didn't teach me anything. But you have a bit the
I
caller
didn't know.
the
You're
caller
just
from
too
Palm
embarrassed
Beach.
to admit it.
The caller from Palm Beach taught me something. I did not know that they passed the voter intent law in Palm Beach after the last election.
Well, my recommendation to you as a talk show host is to do
know
a little
everything.
bit more research.
Well, perhaps perhaps I can admit that I don't know everything all of the time.
Yeah,
Are you
no, should listen to yourself more.
are you aware that you have a bit of an attitude?
I don't have an attitude.
Oh yeah, you do.
I'm a little slicker than you are. I just don't.
You
have
think
a
you're
YouTube
slick?
channel.
You think you're slick?
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
What you have right now
than
is
you.
a
I don't- I'm
you
not as
have
slick as my wife.
you have a none of us are slicker than our wives. At least those of us that are married, right? There's a lot of divorced men who think they're slicker than their wives. but we marry men. You tell yourself that. You're not slick enough to understand that you got a bad attitude. I can hear the arrogance.
Well, I'm slick enough to school you that you should do some homework.
You
as
think you
someone who
schooled
talks to
me?
About 12 people a day on the radio.
12 people, and you're one of them. So without you, there's only 11 people?
It. It's really 11, but I'm number 12 today. I can't. I have
So
to
so
change myself
so
to
this
12
is
to
this
know
is
that I
amazing.
called you today.
So how long have you been listening?
Oh, I've actually listened on and off for a while.
For how long?
Oh, I don't know. I used to listen to Steve when it was the Steve Kane show.
Uh-huh.
Not the Steve Kane show with the
With what?
You know, with the new host on there.
You can't even say my name?
You know when Steve comes on and he's on for like
You
the
can't
last
even
hour
you
of
can't
the
even
program.
you can't even say my name?
I know your name.
You
Why
can't
do
you
need
can't
me to
say
tell
it?
you your name. You tell everybody your
You
name
can't.
300
You can't.
times
You
a day.
can't
You
say
don't
it.
need me to tell you your name.
All right. Hey, listen. Have a good weekend, man. Call me again sometime. I like your bad attitude. Okay. All right. You take care. Oh my goodness. You know, I love this guy. This guy's been listening for like 30 years. All right, let's see here. I've lost track of who is in line next. All right, you're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, this is Mark in Lake Worth.
Hey, Mark.
I gotta agree with. It's so ironic. The guy that just called in, who was saying that
The liberal?
This is a. Yeah, he probably is. The Steve Kane show. Is this the Brian Craig show or the Steve Kane show?
It is. You've heard this. You've heard me say this. If you listen to the show, you hear the rejoins, right? The rejoins say it's the Steve Kane show with Brian Craig.
Brian Craig.
And you hear me say it's the Steve Kane show. My name's Brian Craig.
You want to hold on to that 49 years.
No.
But he's not really a part of the show at this point.
Yes, he is. Sure. He was on earlier this week.
Exactly when? Once in a while for maybe an hour, and
Steve
and
is
the two of you are arguing back and
Steve
forth.
is like semi-retired.
Yeah.
So what's wrong with that?
So we're still calling it the Steve Kane show.
It's the Steve Kane show with Brian Craig. Yes.
To hold on to the 49 years
No.
on radio. I get
No,
that.
you really think so? I mean, you know, I've been on the radio for 35 or 36. That's a pretty long time. It's enough.
And
No.
that last guy, the last guy did not have an attitude at all.
Are you kidding me?
I think no, not at all.
I'm slicker than you. I'm slicker than you and the 12 people listening. Come on.
He didn't throw any insults or
He threw nothing but insults. He said, we only have 12 listeners. He said, I'm not educated. I'm not informed. He said, I'm doing a disservice to the listening audience of 12. I mean, there was nothing, and there was nothing but insults. But you don't like me. You don't like me like he doesn't. So you just hear truth. You don't hear insults. You just hear like things you want to hear, like somebody barking at me.
Yeah, he said to do more educating. That's all he said.
Oh, I'm well informed. Don't worry.
All right. Well, you have a good day there.
All right. Take care. Oh my goodness. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, good morning, Brian Craig.
Oh, hold on a second. Hold on a second, JJ. I'm looking at the clock. I want to put you and everybody on hold. I got to run for a break, okay, or we'll be all messed up. The show is flying by, and I've lost track of time. I cannot believe it. Now, I want to talk about Sloman's Central Air Conditioning. You know, this deal that Sloman's is offering on an air conditioning, this is the best deal I've ever heard on an air conditioning unit. Listen to this, from Sloman Central Air Conditioning. You can get a high-efficiency, 5-ton, 18-SEER system that uses R454B refrigerant for just $59.99 with zero down, zero payments, and zero interest for 18 months. It also comes with a 5-year bumper-to-bumper service plan, which includes annual system maintenance, filter replacement, and refrigerant, so there's no annual maintenance cost. And you'll also receive the Sloman Shield home security system installed with 5 years of professional central station monitoring included with your AC package. Pretty good deal, huh? Give them a call, 561-217-COOL. That's C-O-O-L. 561-217-COOL. 561-217-COOL. We'll take our last break of the week and come back with the Gold Report after this. Oh, my goodness. All right. If you're on hold, stand by, okay? We'll take a quick break. We'll be back. All right, it's time to check in with William Youngerman at the offices of William Youngerman Incorporated with the final gold and precious metals report of the week. William Youngerman, how are the metals ending the week?
Metals are going to be ending very strong as all four of the metals have broken out now from their trading ranges, which have been sideways to lower. Today we've got a full breakout on all of the metals. We have been up for the last few days. Yesterday we pulled back a little bit on gold, down $6.90, closing out the day at $4,239.30. Silver was up 53 cents at $61.39. Platinum lost $12 at $1,718. Of course, that's up over $200 from the lows. And palladium gained $6 at $1,353. As I said this morning, we've got all four markets breaking out to new highs, new recent highs, and pulling right through their resistance areas. Gold up $129.70 right now at $4,369 the ounce. Silver up $3.43 at $64.82. As I said earlier last week and this week, that we had to get gold or silver through $64 resistance, and we are officially through that. We've been up over $65. Platinum up $47 at $1,765 the ounce, and palladium up $7 at $1,360. The dollar is much weaker. The dollar index down to about 99.5. Oil is at $77 a barrel. So the conditions are right for gold and the precious metals to go much higher, and it's still a great buying opportunity.
Yeah, and when it comes to gold right now, what are you recommending? What are some of the best deals in gold?
Just about anything you can buy right now at still reasonable premiums. If this buying continues, though, we could see scarcity of products again. Many dealers have sold down their positions over the last few months, and they could be hurting for actual physical metal at this point. So take advantage of whatever you can get at the lowest premiums.
And remember, at William Youngerman's, everything is available for immediate delivery, right?
Yes.
Absolutely. You hear that, guys? William Youngerman opens up at 10 a.m. Give him a call, toll free, 800-327-5010, 800-327-5010, or stop in at 150 East Palmetto Park Road in Boca, which is on the first floor of the Bank of America building, immediately east of US 1 Federal Highway on the south side of Palmetto Park Road. And when you go inside the Bank of America building, William Youngerman is in the lobby directly across from the bank. All right, William Youngerman, have a great weekend. We'll talk on Monday.
Okay, you too.
All right, take care, take care. All right, I think I've lost track of the lines. I think this might be Jay. Okay, you're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Good morning, Brian. It's JJ from Mass.
Hey, JJ, what's up?
Hey, well, I was going to say that I'm very happy with your disservice, Brian. In fact, I love your disservice so much. I watch the show every single day. So just wanted to give you congrats on that. That last guy, I think he might have been having a bad day or a bad decade, and whatever it is, I hope it gets better for him. But this
it's true.
Sweet low.
That guy from first of all, the guy before we get to the sugar, the guy from Tamarack. How many MAGA Republicans are in Tamarack? Tamarack is like the most liberal. Broward County is one of the more liberal areas, and you could hear the attitude from him the moment I took the call. I mean, he was just hostile.
In the first few words out of his mouth, it was like, I'm like, you know how you go, like, okay, get ready, Mike. I'm like, I just sit back. I'm like, okay, what, it's like watching it's like watching the cage match.
But I love it. I don't mind that at all. And and there's a comment. Steve and I have been together for many, many years, right? So it's so funny what these people try to do. You know what creeps try to do, and you saw both of those liberal guys. The guy from Lake Worth is the one who usually calls in saying he's from West Lake Worth, which doesn't exist. But he was trying to be undercover today. I just didn't get sidetracked into that. And what people try to do is they try to cause a divide. So they're thinking, well, if maybe I can get Steve and Brian arguing over the name of the show, and
It fits into the narrative of today's show. What that guy was doing, it fits right in. I mean, it's the same. Like I was just going to say, the sugar daddy story.
Well, one second, hold on. My phones have blown up, so hold on. I'm answering the lines as we're talking. All right, yeah, get back to the sugar daddy with the Venezuelan sugar baby.
Yeah, that to me, you know, I don't really care about the sugar and the dad and all that crap. What I look at is the immigration, how this guy was used. I mean, you know, either immigration, you either do it right or don't do it at all and stop you complaining. Like that guy voted. If he did vote for Trump, it's one of the guys that calls in the show. I voted for Trump 3 times.
Yes.
And I hate everything he's doing. Give me a break.
And the way the guy talked is he's splitting up families. What Trump voter talks about Trump splitting up families?
Yeah, that guy is about as Republican. I mean, my dog, if she could vote, would be Republican, but she can't. Anyway, you know, and it's the same thing with around election time.
Hold on another second here. The phones are ringing off the hook. Okay, go ahead.
I was just going to say, the media, I mean, listen, bad actors are very good at lying because it's what they do, and even smart people can get tricked. And the more we talk about how the media runs their operations, you know, their media inversion stories, their you know, narratives by omission, like with Byron Donalds or Max Miller, you get down, I mean, even Mark Wayne Mullen, Laura Loomer, you name Mike Lindell, or even Vivek, all these different people, they spin things, take things out of proportion, and they get people to doubt. It's all about doubting. With a doubt, you're constantly looking over your shoulder. Who the hell do I trust? It's a massive negative atmosphere that these guys create.
Oh yeah.
And in that chaos, they try to steer people and in the wrong direction. And the more we talk about it, the more we discuss how they do it. It's sort of like, you know, we're building up an immunity to their BS. I mean, I think I'm pretty much on the full immunity scale of the BS. I don't need any damn.
Well, you know, here we are. Listen, tomorrow early voting starts in Florida, and all of a sudden Fish Sticks comes out. If you missed the beginning of the show, you guys can go back and check out the beginning of the show, because I went through the details on what Fish Sticks is doing. But you look at this lineup. Max Miller abuses his wife and pulls a gun on her. Byron Donalds, all these Trump-endorsed people all of a sudden are
sex trafficking?
Yeah.
How that sex trafficking? What the hell?
Yeah.
Who in their right mind believes that? You've got to be a little
a nut, a liberal, a liberal who wants to believe it. All right, JJ, I got to run. I'm running out of time, but I appreciate the call. All right. The rest of you on hold, stand by. Before I go back to the phones, I want to talk about Coastal Weight Loss Secret. You know, and the guy was referenced my YouTube channel. Go on my YouTube channel, look at videos of me from 2 years ago, and look at me today. Okay, it's a whole nother person. You know, and I really, quite honestly, am embarrassed at how I used to look, because when you gain weight, you do it so slowly you don't realize. And when I lost that first 25 pounds, and then I saw those pictures on Inauguration Day at Wings Plus, I was really embarrassed. I mean, my goodness. But I look great now, don't I? I have a flat stomach. I have my neck back. I have a square jawline. You can see my chin. I look spectacular. And you know what people tell me? And this started when I lost the weight right in the beginning. I still hear this. You look younger. Yeah, younger and thinner. Call Coastal Weight Loss Secret, the home of the metabolic reset. And I've kept the weight off over a year without gaining back a single ounce, because Coastal Weight Loss Secret reset my metabolism. Listen, I know you can do it. I've been on one diet plan my entire life. It's the Coastal Weight Loss Secret. I've lost all the weight, and I haven't gained an ounce back. 561-359-3418. 561-359-3418. And online, coastalweightlossecret.com. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
I'm Brian from Deerfield.
Hey, Brian.
Hey, Brian, how are you?
All right.
The caller is calling about the forming of opinions and processing of information. Listen, most of these things are not simple. If you're really serious about processing information and giving an opinion, especially on a live radio show, most of it is complex in nature, these issues, and they're multidimensional. It's not a simple yes or no, or I think this and that. And a lot of these issues are almost changing on an hourly basis. If you're talking about the Mideast or the military or a Trump policy or what he's doing, this is complex stuff. And to do your very best to give you an honest opinion of all the information you have at the time, you do a terrific job of it. And these are not simple things. Maybe some people think it's just, well, it's a yes or it's a no and that's it. No, it's not. It's not yet that simple. It's multidimensional and complex issues.
Yeah, and unlike the guy in Tamarack, I mean, maybe I'm not doing my due diligence, and I need to do some investigative research into who the candidates are for sewage commissioner and dog catcher and all of that. But sometimes life just gets in the way, you know.
Well, that's it. But it's the prioritizing of what you're going to focus
exactly.
on. Focus on
oh my goodness.
You know? There's a lot of bigger issues than the dog catcher in Palm Beach County. A lot, especially now, we are in a hyper state of information flow, and to analyze everything, you have to prioritize it, go in detail, and really to do it in real time on the radio. It is not an easy gig. I think a lot of people think it is not an easy gig, and then to hold you accountable for one little thing. This is ridiculous.
Well, you know, listen, I will tell you this. You know, I could go on the air and act like I am Mr. Perfect.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, Steve and I, we tell you the good and the bad. Okay.
Well, putting that little minute point like that, really, like I said, there's bigger fish to fry than
But
that.
you know, I'll tell you,
There's
that guy's been listening for like 30 years, and that was his first call. He finally thinks he got me after listening for 30 years. I got him now, honey. I got him. I'm going to call him. I'm slicker than him.
Yeah.
Let me get that number out. Oh, my goodness, from Tamarack.
That's his gotcha moment in real time on the radio.
I tell you, I don't know how I'll return on Monday. How can I face the audience on Monday?
You're going to have to take a weekend off or something. But
Are you kidding?
You can't take a weekend off now with all the information.
You know, on my, you know, I do my podcast 7 days a week. I do an afternoon show with live calls. I do a weekend morning show with live calls. You know, I'm like the Truman Show. I'm on YouTube like constantly.
And you never really catch up because, again, everything is changing. Everything is fluid. I mean, it's incredible what's going on now.
Well, that's why I do my show prep in the mornings right before I go on the air. You know, and a lot of people are like, why do you get up so early? Why do you do it the night? You can't do it the night before because things change in the middle of the night.
Absolutely. The prep you did the night before is already old news first thing in the morning.
Yes, that's correct.
It's a continuous thing. I don't think people know how much work goes into this. It's a lot.
Well, when you are top at what you do, like I am, right? The Picasso of the airwaves. Yes. When you're a maestro, like I am, you make very difficult things look easy, right? You know, that's what it is. If those of you that go back long enough, that remember when I had that 20-something show, and even remember 20-something. Oh my goodness, it was another show. Yeah. If I ever wanted to really embarrass myself, I would go up in my attic and get all those old cassette tapes of all those old shows from 1992 and 1993 and play them on the air. But I can't do it. Yeah. They're that bad. Yes.
Well, a lot of callers are kind of lost after about 5 minutes on the air, and that's it. You know, they 1 or 2 points, and that's it. Radio talk show, you're on there for 3 hours at least on the morning show. And that's
I do. If you look at everything I did a show this morning before this one online. I start the show early, 20, 30 minutes early every morning. I do the afternoon show. I'm probably on the air 5 or 6 hours a day, 7 days a week. Yeah. All right, I'm out of time. But thanks for the call. All right. Let's see if I can squeeze some more in. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Yeah, it's Sean from Westlake Worth. Don't besmirch me and say that I called earlier.
Oh, that wasn't you? It sounded like you.
Come on.
It sounded like you.
No.
You know what it was? I think it was the snarky attitude. And he said Lake Worth.
Yeah, I do have a snarky attitude.
Yes. At least you're hey, listen, at least
have a good weekend, brother.
At least you're self-aware. All right.
Absolutely.
All right, take care. All right, you're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Oh, Sarah from Fort Myers.
You got 10 seconds, Fort Myers.
Yeah, this fish bag is driving me nuts. It's always infighting. Everybody's going after each other.
That's true. All right. You're on the air. 5 seconds. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Oh, I thought we could take our morning dump together.
Okay, there you go. Last call of the day. There you go. Oh, boy. All right. We'll see you Monday. Oh, my goodness. I should have. Oh, last call of the day. If you're new to the program, welcome. Make sure you subscribe. I got a good fan club out there, don't I? Oh my goodness. Well, it is the morning, so I figure at least half of the people in the audience at some point find themselves in the bathroom. If you're new, welcome to the program. Make sure you subscribe, okay? And if you could please like the video before you go, I'd appreciate it. You know, when you like the video, you get the video recommended to people that have not yet found the show, okay? So please like the video. And I'll see you in the afternoon and throughout the weekend. My name is Brian Craig. This